Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Ultimate Series, The Strongest Class Tutor, Unlimited Rewards. Chapter 1, Golden Time and Space. So, I traveled to the Ultimate Universe. Yi Chen sat on a chair in the park, with a blank look on his face, and murmured in a low voice. Host, you are now in the golden time and space of the Ultimate Universe. A cold voice sounded in Yi Chen's mind. Is that so? Yi Chen reached out and scratched his head, with a hint of helplessness in his tone. He clearly remembered that he had been hit by a large truck and finally lost consciousness. Did not expect, when he opens his eyes again. The body is still the same body. People, but have appeared in a strange park. Just when he was a little panicked. The system's voice appeared in his mind. Even though Yi Chen was a fan of novels, it took him a long time to calm down. He has traveled through time. With the help of the system, he came to the legendary Ultimate Universe, and it was still the golden time and space before the war between good and evil began. System, introduce yourself. After a while, Yi Chen took a deep breath and said to the system in his heart. They come, the security. In the original world, Yi Chen was an orphan, without worries or worries. Even if he lives in another world, it will not have any impact on Yi Chen. Therefore, instead of wasting time living in the past, it is better to seize the present. And if you want to live well in the Ultimate Universe, you naturally cannot do without the help of the system. After all, the Ultimate Universe is different from Yi Chen's original world. In the Ultimate Universe, there are two types of humans. One is a psychic walker with superpowers. One is ordinary people without powers, that is, muggles. In front of the superpowers, ordinary people are just like weaklings, with no ability to resist. Yi Chen, of course, doesn't want to be a muggle. However, Yi Chen knew very well in his heart that he was indeed a muggle. The only thing that can change this situation is the traveler's golden finger, the system. Host, this system is called the strongest education system. Quote. Yi Chen's voice just finished. The system's voice sounded in Yi Chen's mind. After a short exchange, Yi Chen quickly figured out the system's capabilities. The most powerful education system. As the name suggests. This is a system that allows Yi Chen to teach psychics. The taught psychic can make breakthroughs and become stronger, and Yi Chen will be able to receive rewards from the system. The stronger the talent potential of the taught psychic, the better the reward Yi Chen will receive. Besides, the system also has a sign-in function. According to the system, this is a benefit given to Yi Chen by the system. There are three types of sign-in: daily sign-in, monthly sign-in, and annual sign-in. Daily sign. Get a minimum of 10 power points, a maximum of 100 power points, and a certain chance of receiving additional rewards. Monthly signature. Get a minimum of 100 points of abilities, and a maximum of 1000 points of abilities. You will definitely get additional rewards, and the rewards are random. Annual sign. You can get a minimum of 1000 points of abilities and a maximum of 10,000 points of abilities. You will definitely get extra rewards, and they are all good things. Yi Chen breathed a long sigh of relief. Let's not even mention the matter of teaching supernatural practitioners. The check-in function of the system alone makes Yi Chen very happy. The reason is simple. Relying on the systematic sign-in technique, Yi Chen can take on the identity of a muggle and become a psychic. The most important is, even if Yi Chen does nothing, he can still get at least 10 points of superpowers every day. Plus monthly and annual subscriptions. Yi Chen will soon become a powerful psychic walker. Host, this system has prepared a big gift package for you as a newbie. Do you want to open the novice gift package now and accept the reward? Just when Yi Chen was thinking about the future, the system's voice sounded again, asking Yi Chen. What are you waiting for? Open it for me now. Hear what the system says. Yi Chen was stunned for a moment, then said quickly. We are opening a newbie gift package for the host. Congratulations to the host, you have obtained the golden space-time identity. Congratulations to the host, you have obtained the skill, Hunyuan Creation Record. The system's voice just finished. A transparent light curtain appeared in front of Yi Chen's eyes. Golden Spacetime Identity. Contains all the host's information in Golden Spacetime, household registration, address, education, perfectly solving the host's identity problem. Hunyuan Collection. the top skill of Golden Time and Space, with a total of 5 levels. Each time you complete a level, the power index will increase by 10,000 points, and you will randomly gain an in-situ power. Gone. Look at the information on the light screen. Yi Chen blinked and asked reluctantly. There are too few things in this novice gift bag, right? Host. This is just a gift package for newbies, it won't let you take off directly. If the host wants to get more rewards, he can teach powerful supernatural practitioners. When the psychics taught by the host become stronger, the host will naturally receive more rewards. In addition, it is detected that the host has 3 opportunities to sign in, namely daily sign, monthly sign, and annual sign. Do you want to start signing in now? Quote. Time passes slowly. Soon, more than half a month has passed. Bara High School. Class A. Narcissist, Xiao Yu. After school, let's go to the Heartbreakers stall to get together. Wang Dedong held a comic book in his hand and invited the 2 brothers beside him. Ever since he entered the ultimate class, he has always been the boss of the ultimate class. As for the other students in the ultimate class, although Wang Dedong recognized them, he only regarded them as classmates. Until 3 days ago, Wang Arthur and Ding Xiaoyu transferred to the ultimate class. Although there were some misunderstandings between the 3 of them, they finally became brothers who recognized each other. Hear what Wang Dedong said. Ding Xiaoyu nodded expressionlessly. Wang Arthur put down the book in his hand and was about to answer. A somewhat rough and panicked voice reached everyone's ears from the corridor outside the classroom. Oh no, Brother Dong, something big happened. Quote. Class A. Oh no, Brother Dong, something big happened. Quote. Jin Baosan stumbled into the class, with a panicked look on his face, and shouted incoherently. Jin Baosan, you have a recurrence of internal injuries and are going to die soon. You're screaming so miserably so early in the morning. Are you sick? Quote. Looking at Jin Baosan's embarrassed appearance, Sister Xia, who was fiddling with her nails, raised her head casually and started taunting her. Although she looks like a little girl, she is ranked 13th on the Ko list, with a combat power index of 4,600 points. Therefore, ever since Jin Baosan was injured by Wang Dedong and turned into a muggle, Sister Xia has looked down on Jin Baosan very much. In particular, Jin Baosan's arrogant character made Sister Xia very disgusted. Therefore, Sister Xia naturally cannot have a good look when facing Jin Baosan. Ha ha, ha ha ha, quote. As Sister Xia's words fell, many students in the class all burst into laughter. Not all students look down on Jin Baosan like Sister Xia. But all the students in the ultimate class 1 have become accustomed to the scene before them. For them, watching Jin Baosan being humiliated by Sister Xia has become the norm in the ultimate class, and it is a very normal thing. Ouch, Sister Xia, why do you say that to others? Quote. Hear everyone laughing. Jin Baosan didn't pay attention at all, but showed a shy look towards Sister Xia. Only, he didn't expect it. Seeing his shy look, a flash of anger instantly appeared on Sister Xia's face. Just when Sister Xia was about to get angry, Wang Dedong's voice came from the back of the classroom. Jin Baosan, what exactly? Why is it so bad? Wang Dedong looked at Jin Baosan casually with a playful expression. Next to Wang Dedong, Wang Arthur and Ding Xiaoyu also stared at each other with interest. Jin Baosan, although he is only a muggle, does not have strong combat power. However, Jin Baosan's ability to inquire about information is unexpectedly strong, and he is considered the number 1 in the university world. Therefore, Wang Arthur and others were naturally a little curious. What news did Jin Baosan find out? Brother Dong, this time, something big is really going to happen. I'm telling you. Quote. He felt that everyone's eyes were all on him. Jin Baosan immediately became energetic and stopped paying attention to Sister Xia. Instead, he started talking excitedly. However, he talks too much nonsense. A full 2 minutes have passed. No one in the classroom understood what Jin Baosan wanted to say. Gold, Bao, 3. Wang Dedong's somewhat angry voice sounded. Next moment, a huge iron pot fell from the sky and hit Jin Baosan directly on the head. Tell the important point. If you keep talking nonsense, I'll just let your internal injuries get worse. Wang Dedong sat up straight and looked at Jin Baosan with dissatisfaction. He didn't listen to Jin Baosan's nagging thoughts. He just wanted to know as soon as possible what news Jin Baosan had heard. It's not just Wang Dedong. Wang Arthur, Ding Xiaoyu, and even Sister Xia and others on the side also had the same idea. Therefore, after hearing Wang Dedong's words, everyone showed a look of approval. Sorry. Jin Baosan, who was hit by the iron pot and fell to the ground, stood up in embarrassment, with a flattering smile on his face, and shouted repeatedly. But, when he saw Wang Dedong's threatening expression, "Brother Dong, our class teacher has been replaced. Teacher Tian Xin, you are no longer the class teacher of our ultimate class 1. Jin Baosan's expression was straight, and without any thought of playing tricks, he directly told the news he knew. What did you say? How can this be? Jin Baosan, what are you talking about? Quote. As Jin Baosan's words fell, in an instant, the entire ultimate class 1 immediately became excited. There was an expression of disbelief on all the students' faces. Boom! What's the fuss about? Please be quiet. Wang Dedong slapped the table and yelled at the noisy crowd. Seeing Wang Dedong getting angry, everyone's expressions changed and they quickly became quiet. Jin Baosan, you'd better explain it to me clearly. Teacher Tian Xin, how could you not be our class teacher? Other than Teacher Tian Xin, who else can be our ultimate class teacher? Wang Dedong's expression was gloomy, and his eyes looking at Jin Baosan were even colder. As a student of mixed generation, Wang Dedong has looked down on all teachers since he was a child. Until an accident, Wang Dedong was besieged by students from the top 8 universities and was seriously injured. Tian Xin appears. Tian Xin is different from other teachers. Not only did she not dislike Wang Dedong, but she took Wang Dedong home and helped Wang Dedong recover from his injuries. After that, Tian Xin became Wang Dedong's Bai Yugong, sacred and inviolable. After knowing that Tian Xin's wish is to help all the students in the ultimate class graduate successfully, Wang Dedong was the first to express his support. Otherwise, how could Tian Xin, an ordinary person with no fighting ability, gain a foothold in the ultimate class? Now, after hearing Jin Baosan say that Tian Xin is no longer the class teacher of ultimate class 1, Wang Dedong naturally cannot accept it. Dong, brother Dong, this is all true, really. I heard what Director Jia said with my own ears when I passed by the office just now. There is a person named Yi Chen who replaced Teacher Tian Xin and became our new class teacher. Quote. Being stared at by Wang Dedong, Jin Baosan was so frightened that he hid behind the podium. However, he still told the news he heard in the office intermittently. He knows Wang Dedong too well. If he didn't tell everything, he would probably be beaten up by Wang Dedong. Arrogant, calm down first. Jin Baosan just said that we will change the class teacher. It's not that Teacher Tian Xin is resigning. Quote. Arthur Wang stood up and patted Wang Dedong on the shoulder. He had long seen that Wang Dedong had different feelings for Tian Xin. Therefore, in order to prevent Wang Dedong from going crazy on the spot, he could only hope that Wang Dedong would calm down. Hearing what Wang Arthur said, Wang Dedong's eyebrows softened slightly, but his eyes were still very angry. Okay, I want to see who is so bold as to take Teacher Tian Xin's position as class teacher. Quote. Bara High School. Principal's office. Oops. Teacher Yi is really thoughtful. An elite with a PhD degree like you actually has the dream of teaching and educating people. Then the ultimate class of our school will be left to you, Teacher Yi, from now on. Qian Lai had a friendly smile on his face and praised Yi Chen, who was not far in front of him. Headmaster, don't worry, I will teach these students well. Hear Qian Lai's praise. Yi Chen smiled and answered softly. In order to maximize the system's capabilities. After some thought, Yi Chen decided to come to Bala High School and become the class teacher of the ultimate class. The reason is simple. The ultimate class, no matter what time, is an indispensable existence in the ultimate universe. Especially the students in the ultimate class, almost all of them are power walkers. As long as Yi Chen can become the teacher of the ultimate class, he will definitely be able to quickly obtain a large number of system rewards in a short period of time. Exactly. In the system's arrangement, although Yi Chen is only 23 years old, he has already obtained a doctorate from a university. Therefore, Yi Chen came directly to Bara High School. At the beginning, when he expressed his desire to become a teacher, most of the teachers at Bara High School cast hostile glances at Yi Chen. But, when they knew that Yi Chen wanted to coach the ultimate team, the teachers looked at Yi Chen with expressions of confusion and fear. Only Tian Xin, the class teacher of Ultimate Class 1, and Qian Lai, the principal, had expressions of surprise on their faces. Among them, Tian Xin directly proposed that Yi Chen be the class teacher of the ultimate class. The reason is that Yi Chen's knowledge makes Tian Xin feel inferior. He hopes that Yi Chen can discipline the ultimate class more. Yi Chen didn't refuse and agreed directly. After that, Yi Chen followed Qian Lai to the principal's office to go through the relevant entry procedures. All right, Teacher Yi, you can go to the ultimate class 1 and meet your future students. Look at the contract that has been processed in your hand. The smile on Qian Lai's face grew stronger and he waved his hand to Yi Chen. Good, Principal, I'll leave first. Seeing Qian Lai's actions, Yi Chen nodded, then turned around without hesitation and walked out of the principal's office. It's not like he's alone with Qian Lai. No way. Yi Chen knows Qian Lai's identity very well. On the surface, Qian Lai is the principal of Bala High School, a money-hungry guy. Behind the scenes, Qian Lai is an extremely mysterious person who can even predict the future. Yi Chen always feels uncomfortable staying with such a guy. After a while, when Yi Chen's figure disappeared into the principal's office, Qian Lai slowly suppressed the smile on his face, and a deep light flashed in his eyes. Strangeness. It's really weird. You are obviously from Jin Shikong, but I can't see your past and future. The most important thing is that at such a young age, you have more than 20,000 power points. What is your purpose in deliberately contacting the ultimate class? Quote. The other side. System. Do you know Qian Lai's specific information? Yi Chen slowly walked towards the ultimate class. While walking around, Yi Chen was constantly communicating with the system in his mind. Qian Lai is really too mysterious. Even if Yi Chen is a time traveler, he only knows the identity of Jin Bai Ke. As for Qian Lai's power index and other information about Qian Lai, Yi Chen didn't know anything about it. Host. The ability of this system has a great relationship with the host. And the host's current strength is too weak, which limits the capabilities of this system. Please host, work hard to improve yourself. When the host's power index exceeds 100,000 points, this system will be able to understand Qian Lai's information. Quote. The sound of the system soon appeared in Yi Chen's mind. Cut. Defective product system. Hear the system's answer. Yi Chen curled his lips in dissatisfaction, and then an idea occurred to him. Buzz. A transparent light curtain instantly appeared in front of Yi Chen's eyes. Name. Yi Chen. Identity. Ultimate Class 1 Class Tutor. Ability Index. 21,974. Skill. Hun Yuan Bao Dian. Treasure. Demon Sealing Gun. Look at the information on the light screen. The corners of Yi Chen's mouth raised slightly, revealing a faint smile. More than half a month has passed since he traveled to the ultimate universe. In this more than half a month, Yi Chen has completed the first level of training in the Hunyuan book. The successful practice of the technique not only gave Yi Chen the in situ power of fire, but also increased Yi Chen's power index by 10,000 points in an instant. As for other ability indexes, that's of course because of the system's sign-in benefits. Especially on the day of the time travel, when Yi Chen checked in for the first time. Whether it is a daily, monthly, or annual signing, Yi Chen has received great rewards. Daily sign, power index plus 100 points, 1 million cash. Monthly signature, ability index plus 1,000 points, a luxurious villa. Annual signature, superpower index plus 10,000 points, the ultimate top weapon in the universe, the demon sealing gun. Precisely because of this, only in just half a month did Yi Chen go from being an ordinary person with no powers to possessing the power he has now. With my current strength, it's naturally not difficult to suppress the students of the ultimate class 1. However, compared with the top experts in golden time and space, I still have a big gap. Only by becoming stronger as soon as possible can we survive better in the golden time and space, and even the 12th time and space. Quote. There was a firm look in Yi Chen's eyes. As a time traveler, Yi Chen had some changes in his thoughts after coming to the ultimate universe. He, Yi Chen, is unwilling to continue living a mediocre life. In this life, he must let his name spread to every corner of the 12th time and space. With this idea, Yi Chen couldn't help but quicken his pace, and soon arrived at the ultimate class, pushing the door open and entering. Class A, a potential mid-level psychic practitioner, Sister Xia, has been detected and can be taught. A potential mid-level psychic practitioner, Linda Bai, is detected and can be taught. The potential top-notch psychic practitioner, Wang Dedong, who can be taught. A potential low-level psychic walker, a shark, has been detected and can be taught. The potential top-notch psychic practitioner, King Arthur, is detected and can be taught. The potential top-notch psychic practitioner Ding Xiaoyu has been detected and can be taught. Quote. Just stepped into the ultimate class. The system's voice sounded in Yi Chen's mind one after another. The corners of Yi Chen's mouth raised slightly, revealing a faint smile. In the ultimate universe, in fact, there is no clear division between the 12th time and space regarding the strength of White Path supernatural practitioners. They just divided all the power walkers into general categories: low-level power walkers, high-level power walkers, and power masters. And the reason why they are divided like this is because of the gate of time and space. Unable to cross the gate of time and space, he is called a low-level psychic. Able to cross the gate of time and space, he is called a high-level psychic. As for the Supermaster, he is a legendary figure from various time and space, and his strength is unknown. However, the system is different. In the system division, power walkers are divided into 5 levels. A low-level psychic practitioner with a supernatural power index of no more than 10,000 points. Intermediate power walker, power index exceeds 10,000 points, no more than 20,000 points. A high-level psychic practitioner whose psychic index exceeds 20,000 points and does not exceed 50,000 points. A top-notch psychic with a supernatural power index of over 50,000 points and no more than 100,000 points. Super power walkers refer to those terrifying existences whose power index exceeds 100,000 points. Therefore, I heard that Wang Dedong, Wang Arthur, and Ding Xiaoyu are potential top power walkers. Yi Chen was very happy. As long as Wang Dedong and the others grow up quickly, then, Yi Chen can also get more powerful rewards from the system. As for the other students in the ultimate class, although their own talents are not as good as those of Wang Dedong and the others. However, as the teacher of the ultimate class, Yi Chen will not ignore them. After all, no matter how small a mosquito is, it's still meat. While teaching Wang Dedong and the others, Yi Chen didn't mind giving them some pointers. The other side, watching Yi Chen walk into the classroom and walk all the way to the podium. Many students in the ultimate class turned their gazes towards Wang Dedong at the back of the classroom. They have not forgotten Wang Dedong's furious appearance before. Therefore, before Wang Dedong spoke, no one dared to take the lead in attacking Yi Chen. Hello, what's that one called Chen? Are you the new class teacher of our ultimate class? I'm telling you right now, you are not welcome in our ultimate class 1. If you know the truth, go back to where you came from. Otherwise, I can't guarantee that you will be able to get out of the ultimate class completely. Quote. Feel the attention of everyone. Wang Dedong stood up slowly, his face was cold, and he scolded unceremoniously. His sense of Yi Chen is not good. Or, except for Tian Xin, he didn't like any of the teachers at all. Not to mention, Yi Chen snatched Tian Xin's position as class teacher as soon as he arrived. Under such circumstances, Wang Dedong showed great restraint by not attacking Yi Chen directly. Right, that's right, get out of here, haha, what kind of thing do you dare to come to our ultimate class? Quote. As Wang Dedong spoke, others in the class started to boo. Most of the students in the ultimate class are students of mixed generation. If Wang Dedong hadn't suppressed them, they wouldn't even have welcomed Tian Xin. Therefore, They naturally do not hope that Yi Chen can stay in the ultimate class 1 and become their new class teacher. Only Wang Arthur and Ding Xiaoyu always sat in their original positions without saying a word. Xiaoyu, can you see it? This person is not simple. Before he entered the classroom, I was completely unaware of his presence. Wang Arthur narrowed his eyes and said to Ding Xiaoyu using voice transmission. As third on the co-list, he has a combat power of up to 9,000 points, and his perception is very powerful. Even if he doesn't pay attention to his surroundings deliberately, he can still be aware of what's going on around him. However, before Yi Chen walked into the classroom, he did not notice Yi Chen's arrival at all. I can't feel his combat power index. However, he does not feel like an ordinary person to me. Hearing what Wang Arthur said, Ding Xiaoyu frowned and then replied using voice transmission. The moment Yi Chen walked into the classroom, Ding Xiaoyu didn't dare to look down upon him in the slightest. However, no matter how he used his own combat power to scan Yi Chen, he could not detect the presence of combat power on Yi Chen's body. If it were the past, Ding Xiaoyu would only think that Yi Chen was a muggle with no fighting power. But I don't know what's going on. An inexplicable intuition appeared in Ding Xiaoyu's heart. Yi Chen, there is absolutely no way he is a muggle. First, as your new class teacher, you need to remember my name. My name is Yi Chen, don't forget it next time. Secondly, I am the new class teacher of Ultimate Class 1, appointed by the principal himself. You are just a group of students, and you are still a group of low-generation students. You are not qualified to remove the class teacher. At last, classmate Wang Dedong, you are indeed capable of ranking third on the co-list. However, there are people outside the world, and there is a sky outside the world. I wonder if you have heard of it. The teacher doesn't think that with your 9,000-point combat power index, you can threaten the teacher. Quote. Look at everyone in the classroom showing their teeth and claws. Yi Chen still had a smile on his face and spoke calmly. The light voice directly overwhelmed everyone's voices and echoed in the class. Yi Chen didn't take the provocation of these students seriously. Because of the strength of these students, Yi Chen knows it clearly. Even Wang Dedong, the third-ranked master on the co-list, was no different from a child in front of Yi Chen. Really, this guy is no ordinary person. Wang Arthur put down the book in his hand, his eyes solemn, and listened to Ding Xiaoyu's voice transmission into the secret passage. The visitor is evil. Ding Xiaoyu tightened her right fist and stared at Yi Chen. They are not fools. From Yi Chen's words, they already understood what Yi Chen meant. Yi Chen is a master and doesn't take Wang Dedong seriously at all. In other words, if the ultimate class 1 does not recognize Yi Chen as the class teacher, then, Yi Chen is likely to rely on his powerful power to force the ultimate class to surrender. Ah, what a loud tone. Class A. Ah, what a loud tone. I hope you really have some skills. Otherwise, you really won't be able to get out of the classroom today. Wang Dedong's face looked a little ugly. Although he is not good at using his brain, he also understands that Yi Chen is looking down on him. This immediately made Wang Dedong furious, and he took out the dragon pattern knife from his back without hesitation. Next moment, as a fiery red light lit up, a hot breath rose from Wang Dedong's body and spread towards the surroundings. 2057. 0.4822. 0.7185. 0.9235. Just a breath of time. Wang Dedong directly increased his combat power index to over 9,000. Surge your combat power index. The next step is not something that can be solved just by talking. The dragon pattern sword points directly at Yi Chen. Wang Dedong's whole person was full of fighting spirit, like a provoked lion king. Dedong. Quote. Ding Xiaoyu stood up and wanted to stop Wang Dedong's move. In Ding Xiaoyu's view, Yi Chen is a very dangerous existence, and it is not a wise choice to fight Yi Chen rashly. Only, before Ding Xiaoyu left his position, he was stopped by Wang Arthur on the side. Ding Xiaoyu looked at Wang Arthur with some confusion. Light rain. Don't bother the narcissist. He is the boss of the ultimate class. Regardless of whether the arrogant man can defeat Yi Chen, the arrogant man needs to fight if he is so provoked by Yi Chen. Not to mention, Yi Chen is the new class teacher of Ultimate Class 1. Even if he wants to scare the monkeys, he can't kill the arrogant maniac. At most, he can give the arrogant maniac a lesson. Just hold on from behind and don't let the arrogant man really get hurt. Feel Ding Xiaoyu's gaze. Wang Arthur shook his head gently and transmitted the sound into the secret passage. Ding Xiaoyu was stunned. Then, he moved silently and stood not far behind Wang Dedong. Apparently, Wang Arthur's words successfully convinced him. At the same time, feel Wang Dedong's hot breath. Jin Baosan, Axe, and others hurriedly dispersed around. Even Sister Xia, a Co-13, would not dare to stay near Wang Dedong. However, each of them had a look of excitement on their faces, and their eyes kept turning between Wang Dedong and Yi Chen. It is clear, they are all looking forward to the upcoming battle. Classmate Wang Dedong, are you sure you want to have a discussion with the teacher? Looking at Wang Dedong with high fighting spirit, Yi Chen smiled nonchalantly, with no intention of showing off his fighting power. Cut the nonsense. Don't you look down on the ultimate class. Then show your skills and let me see how much you weigh. Wang Dedong waved the dragon pattern sword in his hand and stared at Yi Chen. This moment, Wang Dedong's combat power index has reached 9,800 points. The increase in combat power index also made Wang Dedong understand one thing. The Yi Chen in front of him is really a more powerful being than himself. After all, Wang Dedong knew very well that he had a special physique that made him stronger when faced with a strong situation. Whenever he encounters a being stronger than himself, his own combat power index will continue to exceed the limit. Only, in the past, every time he exceeded his limit, it was because his opponent's combat power index was stronger than his own. And now, Yi Chen clearly has no fighting power. But his special physique, which makes him stronger when he encounters strength, was activated directly. No matter how stupid Wang Dedong is, he still understands what this means. This represents his special physique, and he believes that Yi Chen is a terrible opponent and a fatal threat to him. But even so, Wang Dedong still has no idea of giving up the fight. He still wants to have a fight with Yi Chen. He doesn't allow Yi Chen to humiliate himself like this. He didn't agree even more. Yi Chen became the class teacher of the ultimate class. In that case, classmate Wang Dedong, you can take action now. The smile on Yi Chen's face became thicker and he spoke lightly. Finished, Yi Chen also waved to Wang Dedong, as if he was teasing some cute little animal. Stop looking down on me. Seeing Yi Chen act like this, Wang Dedong's anger reached its peak in an instant. Next moment, Wang Dedong's figure moved, and his whole body turned into a fiery red light, rushing straight towards Yi Chen. Don't blame me if you die. Looking at Yi Chen, who still hasn't soared in combat power, Wang Dedong shouted angrily, and the dragon pattern sword in his hand seemed to feel the owner's anger. 9,999.10085. Wang Dedong's combat power index rose again, directly breaking through the 10,000 point mark. With the blessing of over 10,000 points of combat power, Wang Dedong was extremely fast and appeared in front of Yi Chen in an instant. The dragon-patterned sword in his hand trembled slightly, transformed into an illusory beast shadow, and struck Yi Chen mercilessly. Flashy. Look at the dragon-patterned sword so close at hand. A look of contempt flashed across Yi Chen's eyes. Then, in the disbelief expressions of everyone, Yi Chen stretched out a finger casually, and a golden light glowed on the fingertips. 8,000. In an instant, Wang Dedong, Wang Arthur, Ding Xiaoyu and others all sensed a combat power index from Yi Chen. No more, no less. Exactly 8,000 points. Dang. With a loud noise spread, the dragon-patterned sword was blocked by Yi Chen's finger. No matter how hard Wang Dedong tried, there was no way he could continue to fall. See this weird scene. In an instant, everyone in the classroom was stunned on the spot. They even couldn't believe their eyes. Yi Chen, with just one finger, blocked the dragon-patterned sword with over 10,000 points. Isn't this really my hallucination? How can this be? Quote. Wang Dedong's hands had veins popping out, and his face was full of disbelief. He could clearly feel that his combat power index at this moment had soared to 11,500 points. But what about Yi Chen? The combat power index displayed by Yi Chen at this moment is obviously only 8,000 points. However, With such a combat power index of 8,000 points, he easily blocked his dragon pattern sword. Class A. What the hell is going on? Isn't the arrogant maniac's combat power index already over 10,000 points? Yi Chen actually directly suppressed the arrogant maniac with only 8,000 points of combat power. Quote. Arthur Wang's face was full of disbelief. From small to large, King Arthur has defeated many opponents. Among these opponents, some have a combat power index that is even more powerful than the original King Arthur. Therefore, Wang Arthur has always been very clear that combat power index is not an absolute factor in winning. Even if the combat power index is not as good as the opponent's, it doesn't necessarily mean that you can't defeat the opponent. However, the premise of all this is that the gap between the two sides cannot be too big. Such as himself, Arthur Wang is very confident, although he only has a combat power index of 9,200 points. However, as long as the opponent's combat power index does not exceed 10,000, he is sure to defeat the opponent. If he were to meet a master with over 10,000 points, Wang Arthur would dare to fight, but he was not sure of winning. And now Wang Dedong's combat power index has reached 11,500 points. No matter how confident Wang Arthur is, he doesn't think he is Wang Dedong's opponent. But what about Yi Chen? The combat power index displayed by Yi Chen was obviously only 8,000 points. The gap between them has reached 3,500 points. In this situation, Yi Chen, why can he block the dragon pattern sword so easily? 8,000 points. It's definitely not his limit. His combat power index is definitely over 10,000 points. It's just that he didn't fight Dedong seriously. Quote. Hear the voice of King Arthur. Ding Xiaoyu narrowed his eyes and said solemnly. His current combat power index limit has reached about 8,800 points. However, if he wants to reach a combat power index of 8,000 points, he needs to gradually improve it bit by bit. But Yi Chen didn't. Yi Chen's combat power index soared to 8,000 points in just an instant. This means that Yi Chen's ultimate combat power is far more than 8,000 points. And look at how easily Yi Chen blocked the dragon pattern sword. Ding Xiaoyu can be sure that Yi Chen is definitely a master with a combat power index of over 10,000 points. Oh my god, what exactly is going on? Brother Dong, aren't you the opponent of the new class teacher? Did Brother Dong's combat power index really exceed 10,000 points? Quote. Watching Wang Dedong's dragon pattern sword blocked by Yi Chen's finger. Sister Xia, Jin Baosin and other students from the ultimate class all had complicated expressions on their faces. In their eyes, Wang Dedong's face was flushed at this moment, exuding high fighting power, and he was obviously giving his all. But even so, Wang Dedong was still suppressed easily and could not continue to get closer to Yi Chen. This made Sister Xia, Jin Baosin and others feel like the sky is falling. Some people who were unwilling to accept reality even began to doubt whether Wang Dedong's combat power index had really exceeded 10,000 points. Classmate Wang Dedong, is this all your strength? I feel that Wang Dedong's power index has stagnated at 11,800 points and is no longer rising. Yi Chen shook his head gently, a flash of disappointment flashed in his eyes. Next moment, Yi Chen's fingers were slightly bent, and then he flicked heavily on the dragon-patterned iron. When the dragon pattern was trembling crazily, Wang Dedong, who was holding a dragon-patterned sword, felt like he was hit head-on by a train, and his whole body flew backwards uncontrollably. Boom! Wang Dedong's body hit the last wall of the classroom directly, and he was in an extremely embarrassed state. Dedong, arrogant, are you okay? Wang Arthur and Ding Xiaoyu appeared next to Wang Dedong in an instant, looking at each other with worried faces. Yi Chen's movements were too sudden. When they came back to their senses, there was not enough time to catch Wang Dedong. I'm fine. Wang Dedong stood up straight and replied somewhat lowly. He could clearly feel that although there was some pain on his body, he was not injured at all. Obviously, Yi Chen didn't mean to hurt him. Only to think that I could lose so easily. Wang Dedong began to doubt himself. Could it be that I am really just a pathetic weakling? Who is the strongest high school student in history, just bragging? Classmate Wang Dedong, You disappoint me. Not only do you have a special physique that makes you stronger when encountering the strong, you also possess a magical weapon like the dragon pattern sword. However, when you face a powerful opponent, you can only temporarily increase your combat power index by about 2,000 points. This is enough to show that you don't pay attention to this aspect in your daily practice. This is your inherent advantage. This is also the method you must master if you want to become a strong person. In addition, except for your physique that makes you stronger when faced with the strong, and the dragon pattern sword, the way you use your combat power is also extremely rough. When using the fighting power in your body, do you have to wrap your whole body with it? Indeed, combat power wraps around the whole body, which will greatly enhance the body's strength, defense, etc. However, this is only the most basic way to use combat power. Wrapping the whole body with combat power will cause the combat power to become dispersed. If you want to maximize your combat power, you need to perfectly control your combat power. When will you learn how to gather all the combat power indices on the dragon pattern sword? Perhaps, I can't just use one finger to flick you away easily. Quote. Looking at Wang Dedong, who doubted his life, Yi Chen spoke again and said to Wang Dedong, whether it's the combat power gained from signing into the system, the combat power gained from practicing the Hunyuan book, or even the in-situ superpower of fire, Yi Chen can master them perfectly the moment he owns them. Therefore, Yi Chen knows better than most power practitioners how to use powers in order to maximize them. It is precisely because of this. Only Yi Chen would use 8,000 points of power index to resist Wang Dedong's dragon pattern sword. Because Yi Chen knows very well that only using 8,000 points of power index is enough to suppress Wang Dedong today. Class A. Gather the fighting power together. Hear Yi Chen's words. Wang Dedong was stunned for a moment, and then showed a thoughtful expression. The same is true for Wang Arthur and Ding Xiaoyu on the side, and even all the students in the ultimate class 1. Look at the people who are thinking. Yi Chen did not disturb them and stood quietly near the podium. Time passes slowly. Soon, 10 minutes passed. Cough. About this, you can try it slowly. Classmate Wang Dedong. Now, am I qualified to be the class teacher of Ultimate Class 1? Seeing that everyone still hasn't come back to their senses, Yi Chen coughed lightly and asked with a smile, if you want to perfectly control the combat power index, it will not happen overnight. Therefore, Yi Chen didn't want to wait forever and could only draw the attention of these students back. You are better than me. I, Wang Dedong, admit that you are the class teacher of Ultimate Class 1. However, as long as my strength exceeds yours, I will still kick you out of the ultimate class. Hear Yi Chen's inquiry. Wang Dedong took a deep breath and spoke stubbornly. In fact, after hearing Yi Chen's advice to him, Wang Dedong's attitude towards Yi Chen has already changed. Only, thinking of the embarrassing appearance when I was defeated by Yi Chen, Wang Dedong had no choice but to recognize Yi Chen so quickly. Deep in his heart, he still has the idea of defeating Yi Chen. But, if you lose, you lose. He, Wang Dedong, is not someone who cannot afford to lose. Therefore, even if there is some reluctance in his heart, Wang Dedong will admit Yi Chen's identity as the new class teacher. Is that so? So, classmate Wang Arthur, it's your turn next. Let me see, what kind of strength do you, who is also a Co-3 player, have? Regarding Wang Dedong's attitude, Yi Chen didn't take it to heart, but said to Wang Arthur on the side, Wang Dedong, Wang Arthur, and Ding Xiaoyu are all potential top power walkers. Before the three of them graduated, they were Yi Chen's main mentors. In order to better teach the three of them, Yi Chen naturally needs to have a good understanding of their situation. Class teacher, that's not necessary. I admit that you are powerful, and I also accept your status as class teacher. So, class teacher, you don't need to be so aggressive. Quote. Arthur Wang was stunned. Next moment, Wang Arthur's face became gloomy and he said with some displeasure, with Wang Dedong's lessons learned, of course Arthur Wang knew that he could not be Yi Chen's opponent. In Wang Arthur's view, Yi Chen also knows this very well. However, but Yi Chen asked him to take action. This is simply humiliating his king, Arthur. In such a situation, Arthur Wong even had the idea of taking down the sword-locking stone and having a fight with Yi Chen. Only, thinking of the violent feeling that kept affecting me after taking off the sword-locking stone, Wong Arthur gave up this idea. That's right, class teacher, there's no need to hit me. Even Brother Dong is no match. How did King Arthur win? I understand. Does the class teacher want to suppress our ultimate class? Quote. As Wong Arthur's words fell, everyone in the ultimate class started talking one after another. Some students with hot tempers glared at Yi Chen fiercely. If it weren't for their lack of strength, they would have rushed forward to attack Yi Chen. Even Wang Dedong and Ding Xiaoyu next to Wong Arthur looked very ugly. Aggressive, looking at the people glaring at him. Yi Chen stretched out his hand and rubbed his eyebrows, with a helpless look on his face. Hey, classmate Wong Arthur, you seem to have misunderstood something. I just said it. From today on, I am the class teacher of Ultimate Class 1. And I, as a class teacher, am very different from other teachers. In my opinion, the cultural level of students is of course important. However, teaching you the correct way to increase your combat power index is also one of my tasks as a class teacher. After all, you are different from ordinary students, you are students of the Ultimate Class. Ultimate Class 1 is not a place where students only study. And the students in the Ultimate Class 1 have never been obedient boys who only know how to study. Quote. Yi Chen sighed and then explained. With the strength he showed, he was completely able to suppress these students. However, his purpose in coming to the Ultimate Class 1 is to teach students to become stronger so as to obtain rewards from the system. Therefore, Yi Chen naturally did not want to have too much trouble with the students in the Ultimate Class 1. Not to mention, in Yi Chen's impression, almost all the students in the Ultimate Class 1 have the idea of becoming stronger. If you let them know that you will teach them to become stronger, there is no way they can refuse. So, whether it's to anger the egomaniac, or to make me take action right now, the purpose of the class instructor is to test our true level. After Yi Chen finished speaking, there was a look of surprise on Arthur Wang's face. He is a smart man. Therefore, after listening to Yi Chen's explanation, he immediately guessed Yi Chen's purpose. Certainly, otherwise, with your current strength, you are not qualified to fight with me. Yi Chen smiled and answered unabashedly. He didn't lie. If he really has ill intentions towards the Ultimate Class 1. With Yi Chen's current strength, he can definitely kill all the Ultimate team in an instant. In that case, then let the class teacher see what my current strength is like. Got a definite answer. A faint smile appeared on Wong Arthur's face. Although, he did not expect that Yi Chen, the new class teacher, would actually teach students to become stronger. However, Yi Chen is a powerful existence, this is an undoubted fact. Since such a powerful being is willing to teach them how to practice. So, no matter what, there is no way Arthur Wong would miss such a good opportunity. With this idea, without any hesitation, Wong Arthur took out his sword in the stone. Next moment, a powerful combat power index erupted from Wong Arthur's body. 2549. 0.5125. 0.7952. 0.9324. Bara High School. Teacher's Office. System. What's the current situation of Jin Baosan and Jian? Yi Chen sat in his office area, narrowed his eyes slightly, and asked the system in his mind. After Wang Dedong, Yi Chen successively tested the strength of Wang Yasher and Ding Xiaoyu. King Arthur, the limit of combat power index is 9,389 points. And the sword in the stone in his hand, because the sword locking stone was not removed, did not provide Wang Arthur with combat power. However, when Arthur Wang took action, Yi Chen felt a strong energy from the sword in the stone. What if Wang Arthur was allowed to completely control the sword in the stone? Wang Arthur's combat power index will definitely skyrocket and he will become the strongest among the three giants. Ding Xiaoyu, the limit of combat power index is 8,896 points. Compared with Wang Dedong and Wang Arthur, Ding Xiaoyu has the lowest combat power index. However, Ding Xiaoyu's control over combat power is the strongest among the three. The most important is, Ding Xiaoyu also has the trump card of his right fist. In Yi Chen's estimation, Ding Xiaoyu's right fist can explode with at least 15,000 points of combat power. Pity. Ding Xiaoyu's right fist has great limitations. If it wasn't for desperate times, Ding Xiaoyu would never have used it. Then, because it's still early, Yi Chen asked the students in the final class to show off their abilities. Originally, everything went smoothly, until Jin Baosan and Jian appeared. No matter it is Jin Baosan or Jian, neither of them has any combat power index in their bodies. Certainly, as a time traveler, Yi Chen will not underestimate the two of them. First up is Jin Baosan. He is the original boss of the Ultimate Team, with a combat power index of 5,500 points. However, when Wang Dedong came to the Ultimate class, he directly defeated Jin Baosan and turned him into a muggle. But even so, Jin Baosan is also a special existence. Because Jin Baosan's biological father is Qian Lai, the Pen Master. And Jin Baosan himself will be the new Jin Bai Ke 10 years later. In this situation, how could Jin Baosan be an ordinary muggle? Followed by Jian. Although Jian has no combat power index, he is a demon-slaying warrior trained on the demon-slaying island. Once there are demons around, Jian holding the demon extraction slash can burst out extremely terrifying energy. At his peak, Jian could even suppress the black dragon before it became a demon. Therefore, if Jian is a muggle, then Yi Chen definitely doesn't approve of it. Host. Jin Baosan's situation is very special. He didn't lose his powers because he was injured by Wang Dedong. It was Jin Baik who took action himself and disabled Jin Baosan's superpower. Jiang, you're not a muggle either. It's just that the demon extraction slash in Jian's body was too overbearing and absorbed all of Jian's energy. When John perfectly controls the demon drawing slash, or is isolated from the demon drawing slash, then, Jian will be able to create his own energy and transform from a muggle into a psychic. Quote. The system's voice soon sounded in Yi Chen's mind. Is that so? The technical security problem is easy to solve. It's Jin Baosan instead. Jin Bai Ke, why did you attack Jin Baosan? Hear the system's answer. Yi Chen was stunned for a moment, with a trace of confusion flashing in his eyes. Jin Baik is Jin Baosan's biological father. Tiger poison does not eat its seeds. As a father, why would he destroy his son? Ah! What an old fox. After a while, there was a mocking look on Yi Chen's face. After connecting all the information about Jin Baosan, Yi Chen quickly figured it out. As Jin Baosan's father, Jin Baik knows Jin Baosan very well. If Jin Baosan has special powers, with Jin Baosan's temperament, he will definitely cause trouble in the battle between good and evil. Therefore, it was Jin Baosan who was protecting Jin Baosan by abolishing Jin Baosan's superpower. After all, once Jin Baosan gets the real golden pen, he will become the new golden pen guest. By that time, Jin Baosan's superpowers will be restored, and he will be taught by the pen fairy in the golden pen. Then become the new Jin BK. Losing your powers temporarily is not a big deal at all. The abacus is pretty good. Pity. The future direction will never be static. The corners of Yi Chen's mouth raised slightly, revealing a faint smile. The moment he traveled to the Ultimate Universe, the future had already changed dramatically. And he became the class teacher of the Ultimate class, and he is constantly rewriting the future. In other words, the future should be in his hands. Yi Chen. System. Include all 37 people including Wang Dedong, Wang Arthur, Ding Xiaoyu, Sister Xia, on the teaching list. Then, develop a program of teaching for all who need teaching. After figuring everything out, Yi Chen felt a lot more relaxed and spoke to the system again. Formulating a teaching plan for each student is the core ability of the system. Moreover, when teaching these students, the system will also provide everything needed for teaching. As long as Yi Chen teaches according to the teaching plan formulated by the system, students can quickly become stronger in the shortest time. Otherwise, even if Yi Chen is strong now, it will not be easy to help the students of the Ultimate Class 1 become stronger. We are adding Wang Dedong, Wang Arthur and others to the teaching list. As the system sounds, a transparent light curtain instantly appeared in front of Yi Chen's eyes. Name: Yi Chen. Identity: Ultimate Class 1 Class Tutor. Ability Index: 21,974. Skill: Hun Yuan Bao Dian. Treasure. Demon Sealing Gun. Teaching Objects. Wang Dedong, Wang Arthur, Ding Xiaoyu. Wang Dedong's teaching plan is being formulated. Host, please wait a moment. We are formulating a teaching plan for King Arthur, please wait a moment, host. Ding Xiaoyu's teaching plan is being formulated. Host, please wait a moment. Quote. Next moment, the system's voice sounded again. Teacher Yi, you are here, how's it going? Did Dedong and the others make things difficult for you? Quote. At this time, Tian Shen's voice suddenly sounded in Yi Chen's ears. Yi Chen slowly moved his eyes to look at Tian Shen, who had just walked into the office. At this moment, Tian Shen had an uneasy look on his face. Apparently, she was worried that Yi Chen, like other teachers, would be disgusted with the students in the ultimate class 1. Teacher Tian, do not worry, I get along pretty well with my classmates from the ultimate class 1. Yi Chen had a smile on his face and answered softly. System, let's formulate another teaching plan for Tian Shen. Maybe Tian Shen is the fastest way for me to get rewards. After all, this is the only potential superpower walker so far. Quote. Broken Heart Stall. 5229.7259.9534. Wang Dedong's whole body was filled with red fighting power, and his face was extremely solemn. He is trying to gather all his fighting power towards his fist. Such a move. As a result, the fiery red combat power around him flickered, and only the light on his right fist became more and more dazzling. Time passes slowly. Soon, more than 10 minutes passed. Or not. Why is it so difficult? Wang Dedong let out a long breath, dispersed the fighting power around him, and muttered helplessly. Since losing to Yi Chen, Wang Dedong's desire to become stronger has become more intense. Therefore, after hearing Yi Chen's teachings, Wang Dedong kept trying. But, because the time is too short, Wang Dedong still has no way to gather all his combat power in one place. Arrogant, what are you thinking about? Gathering all the combat power in one place is no simple matter. No matter how talented you are, you can't finish it in one day. I heard Wang Dedong complain. Arthur Wang rolled his eyes and joked softly. He also tried several times, but never succeeded. Therefore, he knows very well how difficult it is to gather his own combat power in one place. Ding Xiaoyu on the side did not speak, but the corners of his mouth were slightly raised, revealing a faint smile. Hey, I said 3 kids. You have been sitting here with Uncle Heartbreaker for half an hour. How? Is the food cooked by Uncle Heartbroken Man not delicious, so you don't order anything? Quote. At this time, Heartbroken Man suddenly spoke to Wang Dedong and the others. Ever since Wang Dedong and the others came here, Heartbreaker has been observing them. As a former adjudicator, although Heartbreaker has spent his own martial arts, his vision is very extraordinary. Therefore, Heartbroken Man soon knew what Wang Dedong and the other 3 were doing. Gather all the combat power of the whole body in one place, bursting out with even more powerful power. This is a method that many long-established masters have not mastered. Even he, the Heartbreaker, couldn't do such a thing at his peak. Too difficult. Over time, more and more warriors are gradually regretting this method. To this day, but he saw Wang Dedong and the others trying to master this method. This also made the Heartbroken Man feel full of curiosity. How did Wang Dedong and the other 2 people learn about this method? No, Heartbreaker, don't think too much. You don't know, our class has a new teacher today. Quote. Hear the words of the Heartbroken Man. Wang Dedong scratched his head and smiled, then slowly told what happened today. In Wang Dedong's heart, he has regarded the heartbroken person as a friend, and naturally he does not want the heartbroken person to misunderstand him. Wang Arthur and Ding Xiaoyu sat aside silently and did not stop him. And the eyes of the 2 of them were looking at Heartbreaker with great interest. Unlike a guy like Wang Dedong who only thinks about muscles, Wang Arthur and Ding Xiaoyu have known for a long time that Heartbreaker is unusual. At least, this mysterious guy, Heartbreaker, knows many secrets that they have never heard of. So, will Heartbreaker know their new class teacher Yi Chen? Yi Chen, a surge of 8,000 combat power points in an instant. 8,000 points of combat power, all gathered at your fingertips. Quote. When Wang Dedong finished speaking, there was a solemn look on the heartbroken man's face. First of all, he has never heard of a master like Yi Chen. Secondly, Yi Chen gathered the fighting power at his fingertips, which really scared the heartbroken. Finally, why does Yi Chen appear in the ultimate class? To know, he has seen dragons pointed with golden pens before, but there has never been an existence like Yi Chen. Hello, what are you doing? Why are you so dazed and silent? Looking at the heartbroken man who was stunned on the spot, Wang Dedong couldn't help but complain. He told the heartbroken man what happened today because he didn't want the heartbroken man to misunderstand, and he also wanted the heartbroken man to give some advice. The heartbroken man's dazed behavior naturally made Wang Dedong a little dissatisfied. Hear Wang Dedong's voice. The heartbroken man came back to his senses, with a hesitant expression on his face. There are many things that he cannot tell Wang Dedong and the others now. However, the appearance of Yi Chen made Heartbreaker a little uneasy and he didn't know how to deal with it. Why, 3 kids, Uncle Heartbreaker can only tell you. Uncle Heartbreaker, I don't know your new class teacher. But, your new class teacher is not a simple being. He can soar his combat power index to 8,000 points in an instant, so his real combat power index is at least over 15,000 points. The second is to gather all the combat power in one place. As far as Uncle Heartbreaker knows, there are less than 5 people who can do it. And your new class teacher is even more terrifying. He actually gathered all his fighting power at his fingertips. This has never happened before in the world of martial arts. If he really wants to teach you to become stronger, then it will definitely be your gospel. Just be afraid, he has some other purpose. Quote. After a brief thought, Heartbroken Man finally spoke and reminded Wang Dedong and the others. In the hearts of heartbroken people, Wang Dedong and the others are the protagonists in the battle between good and evil, and are the saviors of golden time and space. Therefore, Heartbreaker certainly doesn't want anything unexpected to happen to Wang Dedong and the other 3. Heartbreaker, don't you have anything else to say? Of course we know that this new class teacher is not easy. As for whether he has any purpose, with the current strength of the 3 of us, it's useless even if we know. After all, it's easy for the class teacher to deal with us. When the heartbroken man finished speaking, Arthur Wong spoke angrily and complained to the heartbroken man. He is a smart man, and of course he can guess everything the heartbroken man said. This, haha, then Uncle Heartbreaker doesn't know. Golden time and space. Villa. The next morning. System, sign in, Yi Chen said to the system while adjusting his clothes. This villa is the reward for Yi Chen's first monthly signing, and it is also Yi Chen's home in golden time and space. Sign in successfully. Congratulations to the host, you have gained a superpower index of +76. Congratulations to the host, you have received 100,000 yuan in cash. Yi Chen's voice just finished. The system's voice appeared in Yi Chen's mind. At the same time, a transparent light curtain also appeared in front of Yi Chen's eyes. Name, Yi Chen. Identity, Ultimate Class 1 Class Tutor. Ability Index, 22,050. Skill, Hun Yuan Bao Dian. Treasure, Demon Sealing Gun. Teaching Objects, Wang Dedong, Wang Arthur, Ding Xiaoyu. 76 o'clock, not bad. My superpower index finally exceeded 22,000 points. Look at the information on the light screen. Yi Chen's lips curled up, revealing a faint smile. Except for the first daily visa, monthly visa, and annual visa. During this period of time, every time Yi Chen checked in, the ability index he obtained was average. You can get 76 power points with 1 daily sign, which is already a very good reward. As for the 100,000 yuan in cash, Yi Chen didn't care too much. After all, Yi Chen doesn't value money as long as it's enough. It's time to go to school. This is the first time I'm officially teaching them a lesson. I wonder if these students can persevere. Quote. Class A. Boss, do you think what the class teacher said is true? Is he really going to teach us how to practice combat power index? Shark sat next to Jin Baosin and asked with some uncertainty. Although he is Jin Baosin's younger brother, he also has a combat power index of 200 points. Only, The combat power index of 200 points is really too weak. Even if the shark goes all out, it can't beat some strong ordinary people. For such a situation, Shark has also worked hard to improve his combat power index. However, his talent was so poor that no matter how hard he tried, his combat power index was not improved. But the appearance of Yi Chen gave Shark a glimmer of hope. If a master like Yi Chen is really willing to teach him how to practice, so, can this little Kurami, who only has 200 combat points, become a master? Yes, boss, what do you think? Heard the shark ask. The axe on the side also spoke and asked Jin Baosan. In Axe's heart, he also has the idea of becoming stronger. But like the shark, he only relies on his own efforts and has no chance of becoming stronger. Therefore, Axe is still looking forward to Yi Chen, the new class teacher. Okay, why are you arguing? Won't you know when the class teacher comes? Jin Baosan looked ugly and yelled at the people around him. At this moment, Jin Baosan felt extremely agitated. Compared to Shark, Axe and others, he, Jin Baosan, is the one who wants to become stronger the most. However, Jin Baosan knew very well that he had become a muggle. Even if the new class teacher Yi Chen is mysterious and powerful, he may not be able to regain his combat power index. Therefore, Jin Baosan, who was already upset, naturally didn't want to pay too much attention to Shark and others. Ah, how, are you angry with shame? Right. In the entire Ultimate team, you and John are the only two muggles. Even if the class teacher wants to teach us how to practice, you two can only watch. Quote. Looking at Jin Baosan losing his temper, Sister Shaw, who had never liked Jin Baosan, started taunting him directly. Back when Jin Baosan was still the boss of the Ultimate team, he wanted to rely on his strong combat power to force Sister Shaw to be his girlfriend. Therefore, when Wang Dedong came to fight the Ultimate team and knocked out Jin Baosan with one punch, Sister Shaw would be unable to help but fall in love with Wang Dedong. But after liking Wang Dedong, it doesn't stop Sister Shaw from hating Jin Baosan. Although, because Jin Baosan has become a muggle, Sister Shaw will not take action against him. However, whenever she gets a chance, Sister Shaw will taunt the opponent. As Sister Shaw's words fell, Jaehyun's expression was calm, as if he didn't hear it. But Jin Baosan is different. Sister Shaw, you are too hurtful. Quote. Jin Baosan suddenly stood up and retorted to Sister Shaw. Sister Shaw's words have already touched the scars in his heart. Even if he had been trying to please Sister Shaw on weekdays, he couldn't pretend he hadn't heard her. However, Jin Baosan hasn't finished speaking yet. Wang Dedong's voice came from the back of the classroom. All right, everyone, calm down. Wang Dedong has already spoken. No matter how unhappy Sister Shaw was, she could only curl her lips and say nothing. Jin Baosan did the same, sitting back in his seat glumly. Arrogant. Jin Baosan, this guy is so talented today. Wang Arthur put down the book in his hand and transmitted the message into the secret passage. He saw all the farce in his eyes. In the eyes of Arthur Wang, Jin Baosan is just a grassroots, without any backbone. But today Jin Baosan dares to talk back to Sister Shaw, which is a very surprising thing. No way. Jin Baosan, this guy, still cares more about the combat power index. However, I didn't expect that he would be so weak and be defeated by me with just one punch. Wang Dedong scratched his head and replied with some helplessness. In Wang Dedong's heart, he has always wondered how Jin Baosan could be beaten into a muggle by him. After all, when he first attacked Jin Baosan, he didn't take it seriously, nor did he attack Jin Baosan. In that case, Jin Baosan would be injured at most, and it would be impossible for him to become a muggle. Exactly. Jin Baosan was not only seriously injured, but also directly turned into a muggle. Wang Dedong, who couldn't figure it out, could only think that the relationship between Jin Baosan and Jin Baosan was too weak. Perhaps, the new class teacher will have a solution. Ding Xiaoyu's voice rang in the ears of Wang Dedong and Wang Dedong. The words just fell. Wang Dedong and Wang Arthur both looked at Ding Xiaoyu. At this moment, Ding Xiaoyu was seen immersed in the music score in his hand, not paying attention to the sight of the two people. Just when Wang Dedong was about to continue speaking. Da. Outside the classroom of Ultimate Class 1, there was a sound of heavy footsteps. In an instant, all the students in the Ultimate Class 1 immediately became quiet, because they all know that the footsteps are different from Tian Xin, and must be their new class teacher Yi Chen. Chapter 11. Class A. Yi Chen entered the Ultimate Class. Under the watchful eyes of all the students, he went straight to the podium. Then, Yi Chen turned his eyes and looked at everyone in the classroom. With Yi Chen's current strength, naturally other than the teacher, he heard the quarrel between Jin Baosan and Sister Xia. However, Yi Chen didn't take it to heart. What the truth is, they will know later. At the same time, feel Yi Chen's gaze. Everyone in the class sat upright. Even the three giants at the back of the classroom are no longer doing their own thing, waiting for Yi Chen to speak. Today is the first time that the teacher officially teaches you a class. Before the official class begins, let me tell you about the future class situation. Starting today, every morning, Teacher Tian Xin and I will teach you about the level of cultural classes. Every afternoon, I will teach you how to practice, and I will teach you to be a physical education class to the outside world. If there are no special circumstances, I hope every student can attend class on time and avoid skipping school. You guys, do you have any questions? After a while, under everyone's gaze, Yi Chen slowly spoke. As soon as he came to Bala High School today, he went to see the principal Qian Lai and expressed his thoughts. Yi Chen doesn't know what Qian Lai is thinking. However, Qian Lai agreed to Yi Chen's proposal. This also gives Yi Chen more time to teach the students of the Ultimate Class 1 to become stronger. No problem, class teacher, don't worry. Hear Yi Chen's announcement. Everyone in the Ultimate Class started to answer. Every student's face showed an expression of joy. Even Wang Dedong and Wang Arthur are no exception. No way, they are all aggressive mixed generation students. Compared to staying in the classroom, they naturally prefer free, physical education classes. In that case, then, let's officially start class. Students, take out your history books. In this class, let's learn about the glory of the past. The corners of Yi Chen's mouth raised slightly, revealing a faint smile. The physical education class he teaches is not as simple as imagined. I hope these students who agreed can really persevere. For the rest of the time, while everyone was sighing, a history lesson narrated by Yi Chen begins directly. Teacher's office. System. Is everything ready? Yi Chen is sitting in his office area, communicating with the system. The morning class is over. In the afternoon, he will give physical education class to Wang Dedong and others. Yi Chen doesn't want to have the problem of not having the props ready during class. Host, please rest assured. When the teaching plan is formulated, the system is ready. The sound of the system soon appeared in Yi Chen's mind. Teacher Yi. Sudden, an angry voice reached Yi Chen's ears from outside the office. In an instant, all the teachers in the office turned their gazes towards the office door. Next moment, Tian Xin walked in and quickly came to Yi Chen's side. Teacher Yi, why did you propose to the principal that all the students in the Ultimate Class 1 should have physical education classes in the afternoon? Do you know that if you do this, you will destroy the Ultimate Class? The students in the Ultimate Class have poor academic performance to begin with. If they all take physical education classes in the afternoon, how will they be able to get into college in the future? And so is the principal. What on earth was he thinking and how could he agree to such a thing? Tian Xin had a look of anger on his face and kept talking. After Yi Chen's history class ended, she went to the Ultimate Class to take English class. Because the students in the final class are always in high spirits. While Tian Xin was happy, she couldn't help but ask the reason. Then, she learned from Wang Dedong what Yi Chen had announced earlier. This made Tian Xin very angry. Just when she was about to ask Yi Chen for a theory, she happened to meet the principal Qian Lai. Of course Tian Xin could not remain indifferent and directly asked Qian Lai if he knew about this. Qian Lai didn't hesitate at all and said directly that this was Yi Chen's proposal. Afterwards, Tian Xin went directly to the teacher's office and wanted Yi Chen to explain what was going on. You have physical education class in the afternoon. This is good, this is good, this is what the ultimate class should be like. Yes, it's not bad for those students in the ultimate class 1 to take physical education classes all the time. Quote. Yi Chen hasn't spoken yet. The other teachers in the office all spoke in agreement. None of these teachers have a good impression of the students in the ultimate class. In the eyes of these teachers, all the students in class 1 are just here to hang out in school. As long as the students in the ultimate class don't cause trouble, it doesn't matter what they want to do. Hear what these teachers are saying. Tian Xin took a deep breath and forced herself to calm down. Of course she knew that these teachers had great opinions on the ultimate class 1. She also knew that she couldn't argue with these teachers, even if she argued, it would be meaningless. Therefore, she just set her eyes on Yi Chen and waited for Yi Chen to speak. The reason is simple. Yi Chen, since you are willing to be the class teacher of the ultimate class, then, Yi Chen should treat students in the ultimate class 1 differently from other teachers. Teacher Tian, have you ever thought about something? Leave Wang Arthur and Ding Xiaoyu alone. With their grades, can the other students in the final class really be admitted to college? Cannot. What you call taking them to college is just deceiving yourself and others. Because you know it in your heart. Even if they all study hard from today on, they still won't be able to get into college. After all, their foundation is too poor and they don't have enough time for tutoring. What's more, they may not be willing to study seriously. You have been the class teacher of Ultimate Class 1 for 2 years, so you should know this very well, right? Quote. Feel Tian Xin's gaze. Yi Chen smiled nonchalantly and answered softly. Or, Teacher Tian thinks they have no other way out besides getting into college. Quote. Bara High School. Teacher's office. Teacher Tian. You should know very well that going to college is not the only way out. At least, the students in the ultimate class 1 cannot take this path. Yi Chen looked directly at Tian Xin and said calmly. In Yi Chen's heart, Tian Xin is also the target that he needs to teach, and he is the most important part. Therefore, Yi Chen does not hope that Tian Xin will alienate himself because of this. After all, only by getting closer to Tian Xin can he teach Tian Xin better. But, hear Yi Chen's words. Tian Xin was stunned for a moment. Although he gradually calmed down, there was still a hesitant look on his face. No buts. Or maybe Teacher Tian thinks that the final class of students who can't get into college are all a bunch of bad students. Yi Chen interrupted Tian Xin directly. The final class is going to college. Are you kidding me? Yi Chen really has no such ability. In just 1 year, based on their results and their attitude towards learning. Unless the students in the final class are all repeating grades like Jin Baosan. Otherwise, it would be impossible for them to get into college. Or, they can rely on family sponsorship to go to a certain university to be gilded. Of course not, Tian Xin answered directly without any hesitation. She has been getting along with the students from the Ultimate Class 1 for 2 years. So, of course she knows very well that the nature of the students in the Ultimate Class is not bad. Since it's not, then why not take advantage of the last year to teach them something else? For example, how to behave as a person, or how to exercise well so that they can live a better life in the future. Teacher Tian, do you think there is any problem with my arrangement like this? Looking at Tian Xin's determined expression, Yi Chen showed a faint smile and continued to ask. This. For a while, Tian Xin didn't know how to refute. Of course there is a problem. Sudden, a somewhat sharp voice sounded. Yi Chen frowned and turned to look at the source of the sound. I saw Jia Yang walking over quickly, with an ugly expression on his face. Teacher Yi, the students in the ultimate class are all brave and ruthless fools. You let them have physical education class every afternoon, what about the students in other classes? With students from the ultimate class 1 here, who among the students from other classes dares to walk around on the playground? Jia Yang came to Yi Chen's side and asked directly. Jia Yang has always hated the students in the ultimate class. Because the students in the ultimate class have never taken him as the dean seriously. Exactly. Principal Qian Lai attaches great importance to the ultimate class and is never willing to disband the ultimate class. This makes Jia Yang very helpless. Director Jia. How can you say that? The students in our class are not bad guys. They are in physical education class. Why don't students from other classes dare to go to the playground? Hear Jia Yong's question. Before Yi Chen could speak, Tian Xin, who was beside him, couldn't help it. Although she hasn't accepted Yi Chen's explanation yet, she doesn't want Jia Yong to smear the ultimate class like this. Teacher Tian, am I wrong? Which of your students in the ultimate class 1 doesn't know how to fight? What should I do if my classmates from other classes get injured while I'm on the playground with them? Quote. Jia Yong curled his lips disdainfully and replied in a flamboyant tone. Even the dean of students in the ultimate class dared to hit him. He doesn't worry about students from other classes staying with students from the ultimate class 1. After all, maintaining order on campus is his most important task. Once something unexpected happens, he, the dean, will suffer. Looking at Tian Xin, she still wanted to speak. Yi Chen took a step forward and stopped Tian Xin. Director Jia, you don't need to worry. There happens to be a wasteland directly behind the school. The principal has approved it. From today on, that wasteland will be the venue for Ultimate Class 1. Yi Chen glanced at Jia Yong and said calmly. Jia Yong doesn't want students from Class 1 to appear on the playground all day long. Yi Chen also doesn't want the students in Class 1 to stay on the playground all the time. After all, Yi Chen's so-called physical education class will teach the students of the Ultimate Class 1 to practice, and it is not suitable to be made public. Therefore, Yi Chen has already applied for an event venue exclusively for the Ultimate Class from Qian Lai. Wasteland. Snort. That's pretty much it. Hear Yi Chen's words. Jia Yong was stunned for a moment, with an embarrassed look on his face. He really didn't expect that Yi Chen would actually consider such a thing. Then, in order to maintain his own face, Jia Yong could only snort and quickly turned around and left. Teacher Tian, if nothing else, then I'll leave first and prepare what I need in the afternoon. When Jia Yong left, Yi Chen looked at Tian Xin again, chuckled and said. After saying that, without waiting for Tian Xin to answer, Yi Chen walked towards the outside of the office with pulsating steps. What a weirdo. Looking at the back of Yi Chen leaving, Tian Xin muttered quietly. Tian Xin still didn't fully accept Yi Chen's proposal. However, she couldn't find a suitable reason to refute Yi Chen's idea. Hey, Wasteland, is there any mistake? This is our event venue. There are weeds everywhere, how can we practice in this place? Quote. When all the students from the final class arrived here, all of their faces showed expressions that were hard to describe. Jinbaosan, are you sure it was the class teacher who asked us to come here to teach? Wang Dedong's expression was gloomy and he asked Jinbaosan not far away. After lunch break, Jinbaosan rushed into the ultimate class and said that Yi Chen asked everyone to gather here. Because they already knew Yi Chen's arrangement. Therefore, without any hesitation, everyone came to fight here together. But, this place is full of weeds. No matter how you look at it, it's not a suitable place for cultivation, right? Jinbaosan has not spoken yet. Yi Chen's voice rang in everyone's ears. That's right, this is indeed where you have classes. Bara High School, wasteland, compared to ordinary students. You have more power, so, it is impossible for the school to let you stay on the playground for a long time with ordinary students. So, the teacher applied to the principal. From today on, this is the exclusive activity venue for the ultimate class. Yi Chen slowly moved his steps, came to Wang Dedong and others, and spoke softly. His tone was more tactful and he did not say what Jia Yong said. Otherwise, with the temperament of the students in the ultimate class 1, they will definitely explode on the spot. Is that so? The class teacher is right. How can those ordinary students compare with our ultimate class 1? Hear Yi Chen's words. The corners of Wang Dedong's mouth raised, revealing a wanton smile. However, Wang Arthur, Ding Xiaoyu, and a few smart students on the side gave Wang Dedong an annoyed look. They are not as naive as Wang Dedong. Therefore, they quickly guessed that the school made such a decision because it was afraid that the ultimate class would cause trouble. However, looking at Wang Dedong's happy face, no one pointed out this matter. Class teacher, having an exclusive event venue is naturally a good thing. However, this place is full of weeds, and there is no way to practice. How about you go talk to the principal and find a better place for us? Or, should I just ask my dad's Tulong gang to donate a gymnasium to the school? Quote. Wong Arthur took a step forward and suggested to Yi Chen. He grew up in the Tulong gang since he was a child, and he is a truly rich young master. It is really unacceptable for him to practice in a place like this. Yes, class teacher, please change the place. Class teacher, I can also discuss this with my father. Quote. As Wong Arthur's words fell, everyone present spoke in agreement. Students who can enter the ultimate class must either be strong themselves or have strong family backgrounds. For them, things that can be solved with money are nothing at all. Okay, everyone, calm down. This wasteland in front of you was specially chosen by me and cannot be changed. After all, the first lesson I want to teach you is about these weeds. Looking at the noisy crowd, Yi Chen's expression remained unchanged and he spoke calmly. He didn't lie. The system formulates different teaching plans for each student. However, every teaching plan has the same steps. And these weeds in front of us can help Wang Dedong and others complete the same step. Class teacher, the first lesson you mentioned was not to ask us to weed weeds, right? Ding Xiaoyu frowned and asked with some suspicion. Looking at the wasteland in front of him, besides weeding, Ding Xiaoyu really couldn't think of anything else to do. Good, your first lesson is indeed weeding. However, it's not as simple as ordinary weeding. Yi Chen glanced at Ding Xiaoyu appreciatively. Then, under the gaze of everyone, Yi Chen waved his arm. Next moment, a golden light burst out from Yi Chen's hand and flew straight towards Wang Dedong. The sudden change shocked Wang Dedong. Before he could react, the golden light had already stopped in front of him. The light slowly dissipates. I saw a special bracelet floating in front of Wang Dedong. Oh, what is this? Look at the bracelet in front of you. There was a curious look on Wang Dedong's face. Not only Wang Dedong, but also everyone else in the ultimate class. This is an energy-suppressing bracelet. The energy-suppressing bracelet suppresses the combat power index in your body. I've said it before, your use of combat power index is very rough. And the ability of the energy-suppressing bracelet can help you quickly master your own combat power. Besides, the energy-suppressing bracelet has another ability. The energy-suppressing bracelet will release corresponding gravity power according to the wearer's combat power index. Under the tempering of the gravity field, the wearer's physical fitness will become stronger in a short period of time. Quote. Yi Chen spoke slowly and explained to everyone. The energy-suppressing bracelet is one of the teaching tools provided by the system. For today's Yi Chen, the energy-suppressing bracelet has no effect. Because Yi Chen's physical strength is very strong, his control over supernatural powers has also reached a perfect level. However, for the students in the Ultimate Class 1, the energy-suppressing bracelet is a cheating device in practice. No way, is there such a thing? There was an expression of disbelief on Wang Dedong's face. He really couldn't accept that the bracelet in front of him had such a powerful ability. It's not just Wang Dedong. Others in the ultimate class also have some doubts. Classmate Wang Dedong, you put on the energy-suppressing bracelet, don't you know? Doubts about Wang Dedong. Yi Chen was not angry, but pointed to the energy-suppressing bracelet and said calmly. Good, then I'll try it, Wang Dedong said carelessly. Then, he grabbed the energy-suppressing bracelet and put it on his wrist. Boom. Next moment, because there is no relationship that we attach too much importance to. Wang Dedong, who had just put on the energy-suppressing bracelet, was directly pressed to the ground by the strong gravity. Dedong, arrogant, brother Dedong, watch Wang Dedong fall. Wang Arthur, Ding Xiaoyu and others quickly shouted. Just when they were about to help Wang Dedong up, they were stopped by Yi Chen on the side. Ah! Wang Dedong shouted angrily, and his limbs suddenly began to exert force. After a moment of struggle, he finally stood up slowly. Compared with his previous appearance, Wang Dedong looked embarrassed at this moment. But there was a look of excitement on Wang Dedong's face. Cool, Wang Dedong shouted directly. This feeling of bearing gravity requires Wang Dedong to expend a lot of effort every moment to stabilize his body. However, Wang Dedong could clearly feel that his body was getting stronger at a slow speed. Think about it. This should be the power of the energy-suppressing bracelet. Bara High School. Wasteland. Arrogant. Speed up your combat power index. Looking at Wang Dedong, who looked excited, Arthur Wang spoke softly and reminded Wang Dedong. In addition to the gravity position, the most important ability of the energy suppressing bracelet is to limit the combat power index. Therefore, Arthur Wang is a little curious. How much combat power can Wang Dedong achieve after wearing the energy suppressing bracelet? Good. Hearing what Wang Arthur said, Wang Dedong gradually calmed down and nodded seriously. Next moment, Wang Dedong began to mobilize the fighting power in his body. 864.1954.2891.3826. Finally, Wang Dedong's combat power index was fixed at 3,826 points. How can this be? Not even half of the combat power index. Faced with this situation, Wang Dedong was completely stunned. After feeling the gravity of the energy suppressing bracelet, he no longer underestimated the energy suppressing bracelet. However, he really didn't expect that after wearing the energy suppressing bracelet, he would be restricted to this extent. It's not just Wang Dedong. Wang Arthur, Ding Xiaoyu, and even Sister Xia and others on the side all had expressions of disbelief on their faces. Don't be so surprised yet. Classmate Wang Dedong, try to gather your combat power index into your fist. At this time, Yi Chen's voice rang in everyone's ears. Forehead. Hear Yi Chen's voice. Wang Dedong came to his senses and quickly did what Yi Chen said. Next moment, the fiery red light around Wang Dedong quickly gathered towards his fist. Just a few breaths, the light around Wang Dedong disappeared. Only his fist seemed to have a flame burning. It succeeded. I have gathered all my fighting power together. Watching the fighting power in his fists beating like flames, Wang Dedong's face showed a look of ecstasy. He could clearly feel that the combat power in his fist was only 3,826 points. However, if this punch is thrown out, the power it can explode is at least comparable to a combat power index of 4,500 points. It actually worked. Look at the flames on Wang Dedong's fist. A look of envy flashed in Wang Arthur's eyes. Because I have tried many times but never succeeded. Therefore, Wang Arthur knows very well how difficult it is to do such a thing. Class teacher, is it because of the energy suppressing bracelet? The ability of the energy suppressing bracelet suppresses the combat power index that Dedong cannot control. So, Dedong can gather all the combat power index into his fist. Ding Xiaoyu took a step forward and asked Yi Chen. As Wang Dedong's brother, Ding Xiaoyu knows Wang Dedong relatively well. It is impossible for Wang Dedong to do such a thing only with his ability. The only explanation is that the energy suppressing bracelet worn by Wang Dedong played a big role. As Ding Xiaoyu spoke, everyone turned their eyes towards Yi Chen. They all wanted to get a definite answer from Yi Chen. Good. As the combat power index continues to grow, it will become increasingly difficult to perfectly control all combat power. And the energy suppressing bracelet can suppress all your uncontrollable combat power. Therefore, with the assistance of the energy suppressing bracelet, you can try to control those combat power indexes that cannot be perfectly controlled. Under the gaze of everyone, Yi Chen nodded and admitted it directly. Really are awesome, this energy suppressing bracelet. Haha, I will be able to completely control my own power soon. Quote. Got a positive reply from Yi Chen. Everyone present had a look of joy on their faces. They had seen with their own eyes how Yi Chen gathered all his combat power at his fingertips. Therefore, they are naturally very eager for this method of controlling the combat power index. Alright, you all should be aware of the ability of the energy suppressing bracelet. Then, next, announce your mission. This wasteland in front of us is the future activity area of the ultimate class. I will divide an area for each of you and you will clean it up yourself. During the cleaning process, you need to wear energy suppressing bracelets. When do you clean up? When do you end this lesson? Everyone present gradually calmed down. Yi Chen spoke again and announced to everyone. Finished. Yi Chen waved his hand casually. Rays of golden light suddenly appeared, flying towards Wang Arthur and others. Class teacher, why do I have 2 energy suppressing bracelets? Looking at the 2 energy suppressing bracelets in front of him, Jin Baosin had a puzzled look on his face and asked Yi Chen quickly. Yes, Teacher, are you making a mistake? Boss, why are there 2 energy suppressing bracelets? Jaehyun, this bracelet is yours, right? Don't you have one in front of you? Quote. The words fell to Jin Baeosun. The sharks, axes and others beside Jin Baeosun started talking one after another. Wang Dedong, Wang Arthur, and Ding Xiaoyu turned their eyes between Jin Baeosun and Jian. Jin Baeosun, got 2 energy suppressing bracelets. Jaehyun doesn't even have an energy suppressing bracelet. Did the class teacher make a mistake, or did the class teacher do this on purpose? One is an energy suppressing bracelet, and the other is a healing bracelet. The healing bracelet is also an auxiliary prop. People who wear the healing bracelet for a long time will slowly recover to their peak regardless of the severity of their physical injuries. In other words, the healing bracelet can give you a combat power index again. Yi Chen glanced at Jin Baeosun and said calmly, in the teaching plan formulated by the system for Jin Baeosun, the healing bracelet is an indispensable item. After all, only after Jin Baeosun recovers can he accept Yi Chen's next teaching. Finished. Yi Chen completely ignored the excited Jin Baeosun and turned his gaze to Jian, who was empty in front of him. Juan-san, wait here for a moment. After the teacher has divided the areas for the students, he will talk to you alone. Quote. Bara High School. Under the leadership of Yi Chen. Yi Chen and Jian stopped in a deserted place. Class teacher. What do you want to talk to me about? A look of doubt flashed across Jaehyun's eyes. He couldn't understand why Yi Chen wanted to talk to him alone. Is it possible that his identity as a demon exorcist has been exposed? Only, as soon as this idea came up, Jaehyun rejected it. The reason is simple. He had never seen Yi Chen before leaving the demon island. And after he left the demonic island, he never used his own power. In this situation, there is no way that his identity as a demon slayer warrior will be revealed. Juan-san, have you ever thought about having supernatural powers without the help of demon extraction / Hear Jaehyun's question. Yi Chen smiled, looked Jian up and down, and then asked. Soft voice, but it made Jaehyun's heart directly set off a huge wave. You, class teacher, who are you? After Jaehyun came back to his senses, he quickly took a few steps back and looked at Yi Chen warily. Yi Chen really saw his identity. Jaehyun didn't expect this. He didn't even expect that Yi Chen would ask such a question. In Jaehyun's view, since Yi Chen knows his identity as a demon slayer warrior, then, Yi Chen will definitely know that the power of the demon exorcist warrior comes entirely from the demon exorcist / Does the demon-pulling warrior himself have special powers? Are you kidding me? Etc. Ability. It's not a combat power index. Yi Chen actually knows the name of superpower. Jaehyun's pupils suddenly shot up and he looked at Yi Chen in disbelief. The golden space-time had already declined hundreds of years ago. To this day, most of the powerful people in golden time and space no longer know the existence of the 12th time and space. But Yi Chen said the name superpower, obviously knowing the existence of 12th time and space. Yi Chen, what is the origin? What identity? Didn't I say that yesterday? Yi Chen, the new class teacher of Ultimate Class 1. Looking at Jaehyun who looked shocked. Yi Chen smiled nonchalantly and answered softly. Finished. Not waiting for Jaehyun's reaction, Yi Chen spoke again and asked Jian. Juan-san, you haven't answered me yet. Do you want to get rid of the demon extraction / and have your own superpower? Although, because of the demon extraction / Jaehyun himself has no superpowers. However, during the system's inspection, Jaehyun turned out to be a potential high-level superpower. A high-level superpower user with a superpower index of over 20,000. His talent is already very good. As the teacher of the ultimate class, as a mentor who wants to be rewarded. As long as Jaehyun wants to do it, Yi Chen is of course willing to help him. Certainly, if Jaehyun doesn't want to, then, Yi Chen will not force him. Class teacher, do you really have a way to let me have my own powers? Or, your plan is to make me give up my identity as a demon exorcist? Hear Yi Chen's question again. Jaehyun was silent for a long time, and finally spoke. He doesn't know Yi Chen's true identity. However, he did not notice the existence of demonic nature in Yi Chen. This means that Yi Chen is not a demonic practitioner, nor is he a demon in the demon world. Therefore, thinking of Yi Chen's attitude towards the ultimate class, Jian is reluctant to believe Yi Chen. Therefore, he wanted to know, what should Yi Chen do to give himself his own powers? If he has his own superpower, he needs to give up his identity as a demon exorcist. Then, it is absolutely impossible for Jian to agree. Ah, you think too much. Of course it's impossible for you to give up your identity as a demon exorcist. The reason why the demon-pulling warriors cannot have their own superpowers is very simple. The spirituality of the demon-pulling slash is too strong, and it has been absorbing the demon-pulling warrior's abilities. So, there are only two ways for a demon-pulling warrior to have superpowers. First, cut off the connection with the demon exorcist, either seal the demon exorcist, or give up the identity of the demon exorcist warrior. Second, completely control the demon drawing slash and prevent the demon drawing slash from absorbing its own powers. If you choose the first option, whether it's sealing the demon exorcist slash or giving up the identity of the demon exorcist warrior, teacher can help you. But once you use demon breaking slash again, the superpowers you have cultivated in your body will still be absorbed by demon extraction slash. If you choose the second option, teacher can teach you how to do it so that you can completely master the demon exorcism slash. However, whether you can successfully do this depends on your own efforts. Quote. Hear what Jian said. Yi Chen knew that Jian was moved and directly told him the method. Yi Chen knows very well that Jian cannot choose the first method. Because Jian grew up on the demon batting island, he couldn't give up his identity as a demon backing warrior. And temporarily sealing the demon pulling slash, giving him his own superpower in a short period of time. This method is also unrealistic. Because Jian left Batama Island and came to the ultimate class with a mission. Jian also needs to use the power of demon pulling slash. Therefore, Jian's only choice is to try to completely control the demon extraction slash. And this is also the teaching plan formulated by the system for Jian. Class teacher, please teach me how to control the demon extraction slash. After thinking for a while, Jian bowed slightly to Yi Chen and said sincerely. In fact, as for the two methods Yi Chen mentioned, Jian knew about them on the demon island. But, Jian couldn't do the first method, he couldn't give up his identity as a demon slayer warrior. The second method also doesn't work for Jian, because his own strength is not enough. Now, Yi Chen, the mysterious class teacher, said that he could help her. Even though Jian had a little doubt in his heart, he couldn't help but want to give it a try. Good. After hearing Jian's answer, the smile on Yi Chen's face became stronger and stronger, and he said with a smile. Next moment, Yi Chen's idea suddenly came to him. A crystal jade stone appeared in Yi Chen's hand. This jade is called the True Spirit Stone. It can simulate the spirituality of any magical weapon for half an hour. As long as you hold it and the demon breaking slash at the same time, it will restrain the spirituality of the demon breaking slash. During this period, you must try your best to master the demon extraction slash. If the spirit of the True Spirit Stone is exhausted, you still cannot master the demon extraction slash. Then you can only wait 30 days for the True Spirit Stone to be completely restored before you can try again. Quote. Bara High School. Wasteland. Why are you so tired? Wang Dedong sat on the ground in a panic, breathing heavily. Wang Dedong didn't take the task assigned by Yi Chen seriously at first. Wang Dedong, is the strongest high school student in history. It's just weeding. Even if he is wearing an energy-suppressing bracelet, Wang Dedong can easily complete it. However, reality gave Wang Dedong a slap in the face. Tired. Too tired. Weeds that were easy to pull out in the past have now become very heavy. Even if he pushes his combat power index to the extreme, it will still take a lot of effort to pull up the weeds. This makes Wang Dedong confused. What is going on? Arrogant, aren't you? You don't know yet that these are the class teacher's tricks, right? Even if we wear energy-suppressing bracelets, our physical fitness is still stronger than that of many ordinary people. If you just pull out ordinary weeds, it's not difficult at all. But these weeds in front of us are very difficult to pull out even if their combat power is pushed to the limit. It is clear, this must be some trick the class teacher used to train us on purpose. I heard Wang Dedong complain. Arthur Wang rolled his eyes and said helplessly. After wearing the energy-suppressing bracelet, the combat power index he can use is not much different from Wang Dedong, only 3,802 points. Under normal circumstances, even if he only has a combat power index of 3,802 points, he can easily clean up the weeds in front of him. But now, half an hour has passed. The area designated by Yi Chen to Wang Arthur has only been cleared less than 1/10. Therefore, Arthur Wang can certainly guess that this must have something to do with Yi Chen. Good. The area each of us is responsible for should be related to our combat power. For example, Jin Baosan, he currently has no combat power index, and he can pull out weeds even if he goes all out. But those of us with combat power index need to increase our combat power to a certain level before we can pull out the grass. If Dedong goes to the area where Jin Baosan is responsible, he should be able to complete the task easily. Ding Xiaoyu's face was dripping with sweat and he spoke softly. While he was clearing weeds, he was also observing other students in the class. So, he quickly discovered something. Every student in the final class worked very hard when weeding, but they were able to pull out the weeds. Therefore, Ding Xiaoyu can naturally guess that the class teacher must have used some special means. No, the class teacher actually did this. Hear the words of two good brothers. Wang Dedong reacted belatedly, with a look of surprise on his face. Dedong, Arthur, has the combat power index of the two of you increased slightly? At this time, Ding Xiaoyu spoke again and asked Wang Dedong and Wang Arthur. Ah, what's the meaning? I heard Ding Xiaoyu ask. Wang Dedong and Wang Arthur were slightly stunned. Next moment, the two of them came to their senses one after another and quickly felt their own combat power index. Ha ha, my combat power index has increased and has reached 3,987 points. Wang Dedong's face showed a look of surprise. He just put on the energy-suppressing bracelet, and his combat power index could only reach 3,826 points. But now, after just half an hour of pulling weeds, his combat power has increased by more than 100 points. This made Wang Dedong extremely happy. After all, the combat power index that has been raised at this moment is the power that he can fully control. My combat power index has also increased by about 100 points. It seems that the class teacher wants to use this method to help us master all the combat power indexes as soon as possible. I have to say that it is a little tiring, but the effect is very good. Wang Yasher also laughed. Because he was concentrating on pulling weeds, he didn't notice the changes in himself before. At this moment, feeling the changes in himself, he immediately understood Yi Chen's intention. Since you already know it, then don't be lazy, keep working for me. Suddenly, Yi Chen's voice came to the ears of several people from a distance. In an instant, the students of the ultimate class 1 all turned their eyes to the source of the sound. Yi Chen and Jian were walking towards this side from a distance. What are you looking at? All of you work for me. Feeling the eyes of everyone, Yi Chen raised his eyebrows and said in a serious tone. Yes, sir. As Yi Chen finished speaking, all the members of the ultimate class began to work hard. You go too. Yi Chen pointed to the empty area and said to Jian behind him. Yes, class teacher. Jian nodded and agreed without hesitation. Looking at Jian's back as he left, Yi Chen's mouth slightly raised, revealing a faint smile. Jian succeeded. With the help of the power of the True Spirit Stone, Jian has now completely mastered the Demon Slash. This is something Yi Chen did not expect. In Yi Chen's expectation, Jian's first attempt to master the Demon Slash would end in failure. It would take a month for Jian to successfully master the Demon Slash because of his first experience. Unexpectedly, Jian was so awesome that he completely mastered the Demon Slash in one go. However, for Yi Chen, this is also a good thing. After all, Jian's success gave Yi Chen a potential high-level supernatural person to teach. And a potential high-level supernatural person can definitely give Yi Chen more rewards. Next, in the constant busyness of the crowd, time soon came to the end of school. Okay, take off the energy-suppressing bracelets. That's all for today, let's continue tomorrow. Looking at the people who were almost exhausted, Yi Chen spoke at the right time and announced to everyone. Bala High School does not have the habit of delaying classes, and school should be dismissed when it's time to go home. What's more, the students of the ultimate class obviously have no extra energy. Even if they continue, they won't get much. Oh. Finally school is over. I'm so tired, I can finally rest. Boss, give me a hand, I can't stand up. Quote. Bara High School. Class A. The next day. So tired, my arms hurt and my back is sore. I admire myself for being able to come to school. Quote. Most of the students in the ultimate class 1 were constantly complaining. However, there is a smile on the faces of these students, without exception. At this time, Sister Shaw took Tauzi and Bai Linda into the classroom from the outside. Okay, stop pretending, you should have felt it already. Tell me, has your combat power index changed? Looking at the people who kept complaining, Sister Shaw curled her lips in disdain and directly interrupted everyone's complaint meeting. As a master rank 13th on the co-list, Sister Shaw has a pretty good sense of combat power index. In her perception, the combat power index of these guys who were complaining had some changes. Sister Shaw is not surprised by this situation, because when she woke up today, she found that her long stagnant combat power index had increased by more than 20 points. To know, as early as a year ago, her combat power index had stagnated. No matter what method Sister Shaw uses, she can't continue to improve. Now, in just one afternoon of weeding, the combat power index has increased by more than 20 points. This makes Sister Shaw very happy. It is precisely because of this. Even though Sister Shaw was sore all over, she came to school without hesitation. It's not just Sister Shaw. Tauzi and Bai Linda beside Sister Shaw, their combat power index has also improved a bit. They also want to become stronger. Ha ha, my combat power index has increased by 11 points. My combat power index has reached 732 points. Quote. After being pointed out by Sister Shaw, the smiles on everyone's faces grew stronger and they started talking. The ultimate class is full of students from mixed generations. For them, the powerful combat power index has an extremely terrifying attraction. Even if they accept Yi Chen's teachings, they will be exhausted and even collapse on the ground. It is impossible for them to give up. Cut. Who do you think you are? You all learn from me, the monitor. In one night, my combat power index increased by 327 points. At this speed, it won't take long for my combat power to exceed 10,000 points, and surpassing Brother Dong is just around the corner. Quote. Jin Baosin rushed into the classroom, laughing wildly. Having a combat power index again made Jin Baosin so moved that he almost wanted to cry. However, after a brief moment of emotion, Jin Baosin's old habit returned. Therefore, after he got up, he couldn't wait to come to the ultimate class, wanting to show off to everyone. What, boss, are you so powerful? In one day, it actually increased by more than 300 points. Quote. Jin Baosin just finished speaking. Big Spicy and Little Spicy Axe were waiting for Jin Baosin's followers, and they quickly started to compliment him. Only, Sister Shaw, Linda Bai and others looked at Jin Baosin with disgust. Of course they knew why Jin Baosin's combat power index increased so quickly. Because before Jin Baosin was injured, he already had a combat power index of 5,500 points. Therefore, Jin Baosin's increased combat power index is just because of the injuries in his body that are recovering. Oh, more than me, how about we have a fight now? Sudden, Wang Dedong's playful voice sounded in Jin Baosin's ears. Jin Baosin was suddenly startled and turned his head stiffly. Wang Dedong's figure was seen, and he didn't know when he was already standing behind him. Dong Dong, Dong, Brother Dong, how dare I fight against you? What I said before was nonsense, don't take it to heart. Quote. Jin Baosin's figure moved. Next moment, Jin Baosin directly hugged Wang Dedong's thigh and started to play tricks. He really didn't expect that Wang Dedong would appear by such a coincidence. Otherwise, even if Jin Bao was given 30 courages, he would not dare to be so arrogant. It's disgusting. Get out of my way. Wang Dedong kicked Jin Baosin away and said disgustedly. Afterwards, he ignored Jin Baosin and walked straight towards his position. Wang Dedong naturally knows about Jin Baosin's character. Therefore, it is impossible for him to compete with Jin Baosin because of Jin Baosin's tricks. Arrogant, how are you doing? He looked at Wang Dedong who was walking next to him. Arthur Wang put down the book in his hand and asked with a smile. Arthur Wang doesn't care how much the other members of the ultimate class have improved. Arthur Wang just wants to know whether Wang Dedong has become stronger after what happened yesterday. The reason is simple. In Wang Arthur's heart, Wang Dedong is both his brother and his opponent. When Arthur Wang woke up, his combat power index increased by more than 100 points. Of course he also hopes that Wang Dedong can become stronger and continue to be his brother and rival. Ah, not bad. My combat power index has increased by more than 100 points. It won't take long before we can really break through 10,000 points. Hearing Wang Arthur's inquiry, Wang Dedong's face showed a look of excitement. He has a special physique that makes him stronger when encountering strong ones, and he has already experienced the power of over 10,000 points. However, under normal circumstances, he could not achieve a combat power index of over 10,000 points. This made Wang Dedong very uncomfortable, and Yi Chen's teachings allowed Wang Dedong to see the opportunity to break through 10,000 points. Narcissist, Xiao Yu, how are you two doing? After a while, Wang Dedong gradually calmed down and asked the two people beside him. Pretty much same as you. My combat power index has also increased by more than 100 points. Hear Wang Dedong's inquiry. There was a look of confidence on Arthur Wang's face. My combat power index is just over 9,000 points. The corners of Ding Xiaoyu's mouth raised slightly, revealing a faint smile. He is also very satisfied with his improvement. Time passes slowly. Soon, it was time for class. With everyone waiting, Yi Chen's figure slowly walked into the classroom. Ouch, is everyone here? This is really beyond the teacher's expectation. I thought some students would be absent from today's class because they were too tired. Bara High School, teacher's office. Yi Chen sat in his office area, closing his eyes and falling asleep. He was thinking about how to carry out subsequent teaching. Teacher Yi. At this time, Tian Xin's voice sounded in Yi Chen's ears. Yi Chen slowly opened his eyes and looked at Tian Xin, who was sitting not far away. Tian Xin's face was hesitant to speak, giving people the feeling that he couldn't help teasing her. Teacher Tian, if you have anything to do, just tell me. Yi Chen smiled and said softly. It has been 3 days since he joined Bala High School. In the past few days, because of Yi Chen's deliberate relationship, he had gradually become familiar with Tian Xin. Teacher Yi, I want to go to the cemetery later and see my brother. So, could you please teach the students on my behalf? Hear Yi Chen's words. Tian Xin carried his chair, sat next to Yi Chen, and asked in a low voice. Today is the death anniversary of her brother Tian Hongguang. Every year on this day, she would go to the cemetery and talk to Tian Hongguang. Even if Tian Hongguang can no longer answer her. But in Tian Xin's heart, Tian Hongguang still occupies a very important position. Sure, the smile on Yi Chen's face did not diminish, but a glimmer of light flashed in his eyes. Finally waited until today, as early as the moment I met Tian Xin. Yi Chen has been thinking about how to convince Tian Xin to practice. In the end, Yi Chen chose to wait for Tian Hongguang's death anniversary to come. As a time traveler, Yi Chen knew very well that Tian Hongguang was not dead, but was refined into a warrior corpse by the Black Dragon. At the same time, Yi Chen knew more clearly how much Tian Xin cared about Tian Hongguang. If Tian Hongguang is used as a breakthrough, Tian Xin will definitely be able to be persuaded to practice. Exactly, Yi Chen can't directly tell the truth that Tian Hongguang is not dead. Therefore, letting Tian Xin take the initiative to suspect Tian Hongguang is the best choice. Teacher Yi, thank you so much. After getting Yi Chen's consent, a bright smile appeared on Tian Xin's face. Afterwards, after thanking Yi Chen again, Tian Xin packed up his things and walked quickly out of the office. Thank me, it's not too late to thank me after you know the truth. Looking at Tian Xin's leaving figure, the smile on Yi Chen's face gradually faded, and he murmured in a low voice. Cemetery. Ah Guang, sister is here to see you. Tian Xin placed a bouquet of chrysanthemums in front of Tian Hongguang's tombstone and spoke softly. Then, she picked up the tools she had prepared and started cleaning around the tomb. Guang, sister, tell me, a teacher named Yi Chen came to our school. Like her sister, she does not discriminate against students from the ultimate class 1. Although, his educational philosophy is somewhat different from that of my sister. But, my sister can feel that he is really a good teacher. If you were still here, you would probably like him too. Quote. Tian Xin started to mutter while cleaning. Although, Tian Xin knew in her heart that Tian Hongguang could not answer him. However, Tian Xin still wants to do this and pretend that Tian Hongguang is still by his side. Time passes slowly. Soon, an hour passed. Tian Xin had already finished cleaning and was standing quietly in front of Tian Hongguang's tombstone. Ah Guang, sister, I'll go back today. I'll talk to you later when my sister is free. Tian Xin simply cleaned up and spoke softly. Although she misses Tian Hongguang, she also cherishes her current life. Especially the students in the ultimate class, Tian Xin is very concerned about them. She must see these students graduate from the ultimate class smoothly. Teacher Tian, is your brother also buried in this cemetery? Just when Tian Xin turned around and was about to leave, Yi Chen's voice suddenly reached Tian Xin's ears from a distance. Tian Xin was stunned for a moment, then looked up. I saw Yi Chen's figure, who didn't know when, had appeared not far away. Teacher Yi, why are you here too? Aren't you going to teach Dedong and the others a lesson? See Yi Chen's figure. A look of surprise flashed across Tian Xin's eyes, and he quickly asked. She clearly remembered that she had asked Yi Chen to teach the students for her. So, why did Yi Chen leave school and still appear in this cemetery? Teacher Tian, don't worry, I have already made arrangements for the students. As for why I appear here, of course there is a reason. I saw Tian Xin looking a little anxious. Yi Chen smiled slightly, showing a faint smile. Subsequently, without waiting for Tian Xin to speak again, Yi Chen then turned his gaze towards the shadow not far away. Rat in the gutter, how long do you want to hide there? The words just fell. Yi Chen's body burst out with cold murderous intent, pressing towards the shadows. Buzz, a man with a green light all over his body and a cold face appeared out of thin air not far away. Guang, what's going on? Guang, you're not dead, why didn't you tell your sister? Quote. Saw this figure that suddenly appeared. Tian Xin's eyes turned red instantly and he started talking incoherently. And her body couldn't help but run towards the other party. Only, when Tian Xin passed by Yi Chen suddenly stretched out his hand and pulled Tian Xin behind him. Teacher Tian, calm down, I don't know what your relationship is with this guy. But, I can tell you for sure that he is no longer the same person as before. He doesn't even know you now. Yi Chen spoke softly, hoping that Tian Xin would calm down. Tian Xin doesn't know Tian Hongguang's situation, doesn't Yi Chen still know? Based on Tian Hongguang's current situation, once Tian Xin dares to approach him, he will definitely be attacked by Tian Hongguang. Teacher Yi, what are you talking about? He is my brother Tian Hongguang, how could he not recognize me? Pity. At this moment, Tian Xin couldn't calm down at all. His brother, who was obviously dead, appeared in front of him again. How could Tian Xin be calm under such circumstances? Therefore, Tian Xin immediately struggled crazily, trying to get rid of Yi Chen's control. Buzz. At this time, with a flash of green light, Tian Hongguang's figure disappeared from his original position in an instant. Cemetery. Guang, where are you going? When Tian Hongguang's figure disappeared, Tian Xin became crazy and rushed towards the shadows desperately. Yi Chen did not continue to stop Tian Xin and allowed Tian Xin to escape his own comfort. Watching Tian Xin squatting in the shadows and crying, Yi Chen silently said, sorry, in his heart. Did Tian Hongguang really show up? No, the Tian Hongguang that Tian Xin saw was just a phantom, created by Yi Chen using his own powers. For Yi Chen, it is not that difficult to do such a thing. After all, most of the supernatural warriors of Iron Time and Space can do such a thing. And Yi Chen's superpowers are not limited to golden time and space, but more like a system that integrates 12 time and space. It's just a piece of cake to create a phantom of Tian Hongguang. As for the real Tian Hongguang, he is still in the Force Judgment Center at the moment, waiting for orders under Black Dragon. Time passes slowly. Soon, half an hour passed. Tian Xin cried so hard that she was out of breath, and her whole body was shrouded in sadness. Yi Chen saw that the time was almost up and walked slowly and randomly to Tian Xin's side. Teacher Tian, calm down your mood. I want to talk to you about your brother. Yi Chen helped Tian Xin up and spoke softly. He did so many things, not specifically to make Tian Xin sad. Yi Chen's real purpose is to guide Tian Xin on the path of cultivation. Right, yeah, Teacher Yi, what on earth is going on? A Guang, didn't a Guang pass away in a car accident? Hear Yi Chen's words. Tian Xin was stunned for a moment, and then immediately asked. In Tian Xin's impression, Tian Hongguang had died in a car accident 2 years ago. However, the man who suddenly appeared before was exactly the same as her brother. As a sister, Tian Xin of course wants to know what is going on. Teacher Tian, are you really Tian Hongguang's biological sister? Yi Chen deliberately showed a blank expression and looked at Tian Xin in disbelief. It's time for some drama. What is this nonsense? Of course I am a Guang's biological sister. Hear Yi Chen's doubts. Tian Xin's face showed a look of shame and anger. As a sister, she watched Tian Hongguang's birth with her own eyes. Especially after their parents passed away, she took on the task of taking care of Tian Hongguang. Therefore, why is she not Tian Hongguang's biological sister? In that case, then, why don't you know your brother at all? Yi Chen frowned and asked again. This is not Yi Chen acting, but Yi Chen is really confused. Tian Xin seems to really not know Tian Hongguang's power. Tian Xin opened his mouth, wanting to refute Yi Chen. However, I think of the special means used by Tian Hongguang when he appeared and left just now. Tian Xin was silent. It seems that I really don't understand my brother. Teacher Tian, you must have heard of the co-list, right? Tian Xin was silent for long. Yi Chen spoke directly and guided Tian Xin. I heard Dedong mentioned it to me. Isn't the co-list made by high school students who like to fight? Teacher Yi, does this have anything to do with my brother Tian Hongguang? Tian Xin nodded and spoke softly. Before Yi Chen arrived, she was also the class teacher of Ultimate Class 1. As the tutor of the Ultimate Class 1, she will naturally get to know her students. So, of course she knows about the existence of the co-list. However, Tian Xin has never paid attention to the co-list. In Tian Xin's mind, the co-list is a list created by students to satisfy their own vanity. Hey, Teacher Tian, the co-list is not as simple as you think. The co-list is indeed a list for mixed generation students. However, the students who can be on the co-list all possess extraordinary power. For example, classmate Wang Dedong is the third-ranked master on the co-list, with a combat power index of over 9,000 points. With Wang Dedong's ability, even if he faces a group of gangsters with live ammunition, he can easily escape and even knock them to the ground. And your younger brother Tian Hongguang was co-1 2 years ago, with a combat power index as high as 12,000 points. But you said that your brother Tian Hongguang died in a car accident. This is absolutely impossible. With Tian Hongguang's strength, even if there is a car accident, there will be no danger. Yi Chen spoke slowly and explained to Tian Xin. The gap between supernatural practitioners and ordinary people is too big. Especially the powerful supernatural walkers are superhuman existences. The dangers that are enough to kill ordinary people are nothing to powerful supernatural practitioners. How can this be? How can a human being possess extraordinary power? Tian Xin waved his hand and retorted to Yi Chen. Although, there was already a trace of doubt in Tian Xin's heart. However, the education she had received for many years still made her unwilling to believe such a thing. Teacher Tian, are you sure? Yi Chen slowly raised his arm. Next moment, a golden light burst out from Yi Chen's hand. In Tian Xin's stunned expression, Yi Chen waved his hand casually. The golden light turned into a stream of light and blasted straight towards the big tree in the distance. Boom. The big tree that needed two people to embrace fell down, sending up smoke and dust all over the sky. Look at this scene before you. Tian Xin was dumbfounded. So, Aguang is really not dead. Aguang, didn't you die in the car accident 2 years ago? Then why didn't Aguang go home? Why didn't he tell me? Also, what happened to Aguang? Why did the look he looked at me just now look so strange? Quote. Until quite a while later, Tian Xin just came back to his senses, looking like he had lost his mind, and murmured in a low voice. Teacher Tian, I should know the reason for this. But we have to get out of here first and then explain to you. Yi Chen pointed to the fallen tree and said to Tian Xin. The previous movement was quite big. If you don't leave, the people who manage the cemetery will come. Good. Tian Xin looked at Yi Chen for a while. Finally, she nodded heavily and agreed. Then, Yi Chen took Tian Xin and headed straight for the exit of the cemetery. However, in the process of leaving, Yi Chen looked back at the fallen tree. What Tian Xin didn't know was that a fainted figure was lying in the blind spot blocked by the big tree. His name is Yu Desheng, Tian Hongguang's former teacher. Because of Tian Hongguang, Yu Desheng was expelled from his previous school and is preparing to take revenge on Tian Xin. Pity, his existence cannot be hidden from Yi Chen. Yi Chen's move seemed to be to bombard the big tree, but in fact it was to destroy Yu Desheng. At this moment, Yu Desheng, although he has survived, has no chance of waking up again. Villa. Teacher Yi, is this your home? Looking at the villa in front of her, Tian Xin's face showed an embarrassed look. She really didn't expect that Yi Chen would actually take her home. This made Tian Xin's heart feel a little shy. After all, she has long been an adult, so she naturally can't help but think more. Yi Chen took her home, did he like her? But, I have only known Yi Chen for a few days, isn't it too fast? Yeah, Teacher Tian, sit down. Yi Chen didn't notice Tian Xin's little thoughts at all, and spoke softly. For now, Yi Chen only wants to guide Tian Xin to practice, so as to get the system's rewards. As for other things, Yi Chen doesn't care. Okay. Hearing Yi Chen's words, Tian Xin nodded and sat on the sofa a little stiffly. Teacher Yi, what's going on with Aguang? The next moment, Tian Xin remembered Tian Hongguang's matter and asked quickly. In the past, she always thought that Tian Hongguang died in a car accident. Although she was sad, she would not live in the past. But now, since she already knew that Tian Hongguang might not be dead, Tian Xin naturally could not remain indifferent. She must figure out what is going on. Teacher Tian. All this is still related to the co-list. I have said before that the students on the co-list all have extraordinary powers. So, Teacher Tian, have you ever thought about why there is a list like the co-list? Yi Chen also sat on the sofa and spoke softly. This isn't the co-list set by students in the college world. Tian Xin was stunned and asked in confusion. She didn't understand why Yi Chen asked herself such a question. However, she vaguely felt that this might be related to her brother. Of course not. The one who set the co-list is Black Dragon, the judge of the Martial Arts Arbitration Center. The Martial Arts Arbitration Center was originally a holy place for martial arts, and it collected a large number of martial arts secrets. At that time, there were 7 judges in the Martial Arts Arbitration Center, and they acted very fairly. Until Black Dragon, one of the judges, embarked on the path of practicing magic. The other judges had a dispute with Black Dragon in order to stop Black Dragon. In the end, an internal fight broke out in the Martial Arts Arbitration Center. Black Dragon won. The other judges died or escaped. Since then, the Martial Arts Arbitration Center has become Black Dragon's world. However, because of the internal fight, the Martial Arts Arbitration Center suffered heavy losses. Except for Black Dragon, the judge, there are no other masters in the Martial Arts Arbitration Center. In order to supplement the masters of the Martial Arts Arbitration Center and maintain the deterrent power of the Martial Arts Arbitration Center in the martial arts world, Black Dragon seized on the young people's desire to be brave and aggressive, and thus established the current co-list. Any young people who are in the top 10 of the co-list will be noticed by Black Dragon. And young masters with a combat power index of over 10,000 points will directly become Black Dragon's target. You must know, Black Dragon is a very domineering person. He hopes to absorb young masters to supplement the power of the Martial Force Arbitration Office, and he also hopes that everyone will obey him. So, he chose an extremely cruel method: refining martial corpses. The so-called refining martial corpses is to beat the opponent to death, then seal the opponent's last breath, and command the opponent with magic power. And those who become martial corpses will become without memory, without thoughts, and even unable to feel pain. Therefore, to a certain extent, martial corpses can no longer be regarded as human beings, but have become weapons that obey Black Dragon. For example, your brother Tian Hongguang. 2 years ago, he was refined into a martial corpse by the Black Dragon, codenamed Zun. The so-called car accident was nothing but a deliberate creation by Black Dragon to paralyze the world. In Tian Shin's anxious sight, Yi Chen did not sell out the truth and told all the truth. Why is he targeting a Guang? We didn't offend him at all. After listening to Yi Chen's explanation, Tian Shin had already burst into tears, with a sad look on his face. Tian Hongguang is the younger brother she brought up since childhood. Whenever he thinks of Tian Hongguang being turned into a martial corpse by the Black Dragon, Tian Shin feels so uncomfortable that he wants to collapse. Especially after knowing the process of refining a martial corpse, Tian Shin was even more unwilling to accept this reality. Why? Maybe it's because Tian Hongguang has extraordinary talent. The Black Dragon is very powerful. However, Black Dragon is a cautious person. If he refines Tian Hongguang into a martial corpse, he will be brought to the Military Judgment Institute for training. Then, with Tian Hongguang's talent, his future achievements will definitely exceed those of Black Dragon. The Black Dragon is afraid. He is afraid that Tian Hongguang will grow up to be more powerful than him. Only by refining Tian Hongguang into a martial corpse, the Black Dragon will feel at ease. Looking at the sad Tian Shin, Yi Chen was silent for a moment before speaking out his thoughts. After coming to the Ultimate Universe, although Yi Chen has never seen a real Black Dragon. However, from the various behaviors of Hailong, Yi Chen can also imagine what kind of person Hailong is. The Black Dragon on the surface, relying on its powerful strength, intimidates the world of Jin Shikong. But secretly, the Black Dragon is extremely cautious and unwilling to take any risks. Yi Chen looked down upon such a Black Dragon. After all, only those who believe in themselves are qualified to become truly strong. Teacher Yi, is there any way to save A Guang? After a long while, Tian Shin gradually stopped crying, with a determined look on his face. She must rescue her brother and get him out of the state of a warrior corpse. As long as we defeat the Black Dragon, we can destroy the Black Dragon's magic power. Those who are refined into martial corpses by the Black Dragon will return to their normal state. Hear Tian Shin's inquiry. An undetectable smile flashed across Yi Chen's face. What are you waiting for? Teacher Yi, let's call the police. The police will not sit idly by and watch. However, what Tian Shin said made Yi Chen's face full of black lines. Teacher Tian, ordinary police officers have no way to deal with the Black Dragon. Yi Chen shook his head and directly rejected Tian Shin's proposal. Are you really unaware of the existence of the big Black Dragon in the golden space-time? No, they must know. However, the Black Dragon is too powerful and there is nothing they can do against it. That's why they allowed the Black Dragon to exist and even acquiesced to the Black Dragon's actions. Then, what should we do? Tian Shin panicked and didn't know what to do. Teacher Tian, have you ever thought about practicing yourself and becoming stronger? As long as you become stronger, you will naturally be able to rescue Tian Hongguang. Chapter 21. Villa. Practice. Hear Yi Chen's inquiry. Tian Shin's face showed a shocked expression. No. I'm just an ordinary person, I don't have any extraordinary power at all. Teacher Yi, you are so powerful, why not defeat the Black Dragon and rescue A Guang and the others? Next moment, Tian Shin quickly waved his hand and said with some resistance. Before today, Tian Shin had no idea about the existence of extraordinary power. Therefore, Tian Shin naturally does not think that he can defeat the evil Black Dragon. Unfortunately, I am no match for the Black Dragon. So, I can't help you rescue Tian Hongguang. Hear Tian Shin's words. Yi Chen spread his hands and answered unabashedly. The current Yi Chen's ability index is only over 22,000 points. But the Black Dragon's power index has exceeded at least 30,000 points. Although, Yi Chen has his own trump card and is not afraid of the Black Dragon. However, Yi Chen is not willing to let Yi Chen fight the Black Dragon now. The reason is simple. For students in the ultimate class, or Tian Xin, the Black Dragon is their biggest threat and greatest pressure. Only when you have pressure can you make progress. If the threat of the Black Dragon is used well, Yi Chen can gain a lot of benefits. But, Teacher Tian, you are different. Cultivation places great emphasis on talent. Although, you have never practiced in the past. However, your talent is terrifying, far surpassing that of your brother Tian Hongguang. Even if you start practicing from now on, there is a great chance that you can become more powerful than the Black Dragon. Didn't wait for Tian Xin's reaction. Yi Chen spoke again and said to Tian Xin. Although, Yi Chen does not have the ability like Dao Feng to detect the millions of potentials in Tian Xin's body. However, according to the system's judgment, Tian Xin is a potential superpower walker. This is enough to prove that Tian Xin is really a martial arts wizard with extremely terrifying training talent. Me, can I really do that? Hearing Yi Chen's unabashed exaggeration, Tian Xin felt a little embarrassed and murmured in a low voice. She has never made a move with anyone since she was a child. Let her become a great master and defeat the biggest demon. Tian Xin does not have such confidence. Not to mention, practice can delay aging and make skin whiter and more tender. Teacher Tian Xin, don't you want to keep your current beauty? Seeing that Tian Xin was already a little shaken, Yi Chen gritted his teeth and dropped another bombshell. He didn't believe that Tian Xin could not be tempted when faced with such temptation. What, is there such a thing? Tian Xin shook his head, a flash of light flashing in his eyes. Teacher Yi, please teach me how to practice. In an instant, Tian Xin appeared next to Yi Chen and took Yi Chen's arm to plead. She is really tempted. Because of Tian Hongguang's incident, she was already swinging between left and right. She was just afraid that even if she started practicing, she would not be able to save Tian Hongguang. Therefore, the temptation to stay young and beautiful has directly become the straw that breaks the camel's back. Whether it's to rescue Tian Hongguang, or for herself. Practice. You must practice. The other side. He looked at Tian Xin who was pulling him. There was a look of surprise on Yi Chen's face. Although, Yi Chen knows very well how attractive beauty is to a woman. However, the contrast between Tian Xin's before and after still shocked Yi Chen. Ah, woman, good. After a brief moment of surprise, Yi Chen directly agreed to Tian Xin's request. No matter what Tian Xin is practicing for. As long as Tian Xin is willing to practice, Yi Chen's goal will be achieved, right? I will teach you a technique that suits you best. As long as you practice hard, you will definitely become stronger quickly. Quote. Subsequently, Yi Chen then told Tian Xin everything he needed to pay attention to during cultivation. Indeed, Tian Xin's talent is terrifying. However, Tian Xin has never practiced in the past. Therefore, Yi Chen did not dare to slack off at all when teaching Tian Xin. Fine, Tian Xin has a good understanding. It only took an hour for Tian Xin to understand the gist of what Yi Chen said. After that, Yi Chen used the system's ability to instill the exercises prepared by the system for Tian Xin directly into Tian Xin's mind. This is a technique called Tian Yuan Ju, which is more powerful than the Hunyuan treasure book, practiced by Yi Chen. After Yi Chen learned about this, he almost switched to Tian Yuan Ju. Fortunately, the system appeared in time and gave up Yi Chen's idea. Hunyuan Baodian is indeed inferior to Tian Yuan Ju. However, in the systematic explanation, Hunyuan book is the basic skill of a god-level skill. Only by cultivating the Hunyuan book to its peak can one practice the god-level techniques the system calls them. Teacher Tian, you start practicing. I'm watching right next to you. If there is any problem, I can help you in time. Looking at Tian Xin who couldn't wait, Yi Chen spoke softly and said to Tian Xin. This moment, Yi Chen couldn't help but have some expectations in his heart. Tian Xin is different from Wang Dedong and others. This is Tian Xin's first time practicing, and it is also Tian Xin's awakening. The awakening of a psychic practitioner is also the time when the psychic index increases the fastest. In these few days, Yi Chen exercises Wang Dedong and others every afternoon. However, although the combat power index of Wang Dedong and others has improved a lot. However, perhaps because the combat power index was not improved enough, Yi Chen has never received a reward from the system. Therefore, Yi Chen is naturally a little curious. Can Tian Shin's awakening allow him to receive rewards? Good. Then I'll trouble teacher Yi. Tian Shin did not refuse and nodded directly. Then, under the watchful eye of Yi Chen, Tian Shin sat cross-legged on the sofa and started practicing for the first time. Only a few minutes passed. A pink light filled the air from Tian Shin's body. 452.952. When Tian Shin's power index broke through the 1,000-point barrier, the system's voice finally sounded in Yi Chen's mind. Tian Shin's power index was detected and increased by 1,000 points. Congratulations to the host. Villa. Tian Shin's power index was detected and increased by 1,000 points. Congratulations to the host, you have obtained a super treasure box. The system's voice sounded in Yi Chen's mind. Super treasure chest. System, is this the reward you are talking about? Yi Chen was stunned for a moment, then asked in his heart. This is the first time Yi Chen has received a system reward. Before that, Yi Chen only knows how to teach students, and when the students become stronger, he will be rewarded. As for what the reward is, Yi Chen has no idea. The host is right. Tian Shin is a potential superpower walker. With Tian Shin's strength breakthrough, the host will be able to obtain a super treasure box. Open the super treasure chest, and the host has a great chance to get the best goodies. Quote. The system spoke again and explained to Yi Chen. Is that so? Wouldn't Wang Dedong's breakthrough be rewarded with a top-level treasure chest? After all, in your judgment, Wang Dedong is only a potential top-notch psychic. Yi Chen touched his chin and asked tentatively. Are the rewards given by the system determined based on the talent of the power walker? However, whether this is the case or not requires a positive answer from the system. That's right, really. The system spoke directly, confirming Yi Chen's guess. What about the rules for rewards? What kind of breakthroughs must the psychics I teach achieve before I can get the reward? Does their ability index increase by 1,000 points to get the reward? Yi Chen was silent for a moment and asked again in his heart. Yi Chen has actually asked this question many times. However, the system never answered Yi Chen. Now, Tian Shin's breakthrough has already earned Yi Chen a reward. In Yi Chen's opinion, at this time, the system should not continue to fail. Host, there are many ways to get rewarded. The first is the ability index. The superpower practitioners who accept the teachings of the host have superpower indexes that exceed 1,000 points, 2,000 points, 4,000 points, 8,000 points, 16,000 points. This system will reward the host with a treasure box. The level of the treasure box is related to their own talents. Besides, the supernatural walkers taught by the host can also provide additional treasure chests for the host. For example, the host helps others get rid of their inner demons, or they achieve great achievements with the help of the host, etc. As long as it is recognized by the system, the host can get additional rewards. Quote. The system's voice sounded, explaining to Yi Chen. So that's it. System, why didn't you tell me before? Hear the system's explanation. Yi Chen nodded and quickly accepted such a rule. However, thinking that the system had refused to tell him before, Yi Chen couldn't help but ask. Host, this system is just a tool to assist the host. So, this system will not issue any tasks to the host. However, the capabilities of this system are by no means as simple as the host imagines. Only, due to some inexplicable restrictions, this system cannot directly inform the host. Only after the host meets certain conditions, the system can disclose some information. Therefore, the host is requested to work hard and strive to unlock all the capabilities of this system as soon as possible. Quote. The system was silent for a long time. Just when Yi Chen thought the system would not answer him, the voice of the system appeared and said something Yi Chen had never known. Oh, limit. Yi Chen squinted his eyes, a glimmer of doubt flashing in his eyes. He had no idea of continuing to ask the system. because it has shown its attitude. Even if Yi Chen continues to ask, it is impossible to get any answer. Therefore, Yi Chen could only wonder in his mind, where did the limitations of the system come from? Tian Xin's power index was detected and increased by 2,000 points. Congratulations to the host, you have obtained a super treasure box. Sudden, the cold voice of the system sounded. Yi Chen suddenly came back to his senses and looked at Tian Xin beside him. Next moment, sure enough, Yi Chen detected a superpower index of more than 2,000 points in Tian Xin's body. That's it, don't think too much about the system for now. I'd better look forward to Tian Xin, how many rewards can I get today? Yi Chen shook his head, with a self-deprecating expression on his face. Because of the system, I came to the ultimate universe and have the power I have today. Even the system cannot reveal all the information due to limitations. No matter how much I think about it, it doesn't make any sense. Therefore, instead of wasting time thinking about things, it's better to seize the time to strengthen yourself. The way to become stronger quickly is to get as many rewards as possible. With this idea, Yi Chen always kept his gaze on Tian Xin in front of him. Time passes slowly. Soon, the sky gradually became gloomy. At this moment, Tian Xin's supernatural power index has exceeded 5,000 points. And Yi Chen, because of Tian Xin's breakthrough again, received the third super treasure box rewarded by the system. More than an hour passed. Ying, a strange sound sounded. Tian Xin, who was sitting on the sofa, slowly opened his eyes. Pity. After all, I couldn't directly break through to 8,000 points. There was a hint of imperceptible loss in Yi Chen's eyes. However, after a brief period of disappointment, Yi Chen felt that it was natural again. Tian Xin, although a rare martial arts wizard in a century. However, Tian Xin started too late. If the system hadn't prepared a top-notch cultivation technique for Tian Xin. When Tian Xin awakened, it was absolutely impossible to have a power index of 6,000 points. That's right, now Tian Xin's ability index has reached 6,000 points. Teacher Yi, I succeeded, I also have extraordinary powers. When Tian Xin woke up, she quickly felt the changes in her body. Therefore, looking at Yi Chen standing beside him, Tian Xin immediately showed off excitedly. Teacher Tian, this kind of extraordinary power is called superpower. Congratulations, you have a power index of 6,000 points for your first practice. Tian Xin looked like a child showing off his toys. The corners of Yi Chen's mouth raised slightly, revealing a warm smile. Villa. After Tian Xin finished practicing, Yi Chen talked with Tian Xin again. Because it's already late at night, Yi Chen did not let Tian Xin leave, but arranged for her to rest in a guest room. Maybe it's because I trust Yi Chen. Tian Xin showed no resistance to Yi Chen's arrangement and readily agreed. After doing all this, Yi Chen went back to his room directly. System. Open all 3 super treasure chests. Yi Chen sat on the bed, took a deep breath, and gave instructions to the system. As early as when he got the super treasure chest, Yi Chen wanted to open it to see what kind of rewards it contained. However, Yi Chen still had to take care of Tian Xin at that time, so he had to restrain himself. And now, Tian Xin has finished practicing. Yi Chen is naturally eager to know what he can get from the super treasure chest. Opening the first super treasure chest for the host. Congratulations to the host, you have obtained a top-notch magic weapon, the Greedy Wolf Blade. Opening the second super treasure chest for the host. Congratulations to the host, you have obtained 10 skill training acceleration cards. Opening the third super treasure chest for the host. Congratulations to the host, you have obtained the first volume of the God level skill, Hunyuan Creation Record. Yi Chen's voice just finished. The system's voice sounded in Yi Chen's mind one after another. At the same time, a transparent light instantly appeared in front of Yi Chen's eyes. The Greedy Wolf Blade. The top magic weapon in the 12th time and space, an exclusive weapon spirit will be bred during the period. Those who are recognized by the weapon spirit, holding the Greedy Wolf Blade, can increase their power index by 5,000 points. Kung Fu Practice Accelerator Card. A disposable item, use the Kung Fu Practice Accelerator card, and within 12 hours, the speed of practicing Kung Fu will increase tenfold. Hunyuan Creation Record. 12 time space god level exercises are divided into 9 volumes in total. Only those who have perfected the Hunyuan Treasure Book can practice this exercise. Ah, system, you are so considerate. Look at the information on the light screen. Yi Chen had a look of satisfaction on his face. Yi Chen is really satisfied with the items found in the 3 super treasure chests. The first is Greedy Wolf Blade. During the first annual signing, Yi Chen also received a magical weapon, the Demon Sealing Spear. And the Demon Sealing Spear is Yi Chen's trump card that makes him not afraid of the Black Dragon. Because the properties of the Demon Sealing Spear are similar to the Demon Extracting Slash of the Demon Extracting Warrior, it has great ability to restrain monsters. Even if Yi Chen only has a power index of more than 20,000 points, he can still compete with the Black Dragon with the magic sealing gun. However, if there is no magic in the opponent, then the ability of the Demon Sealing Spear will appear to be very useless. The appearance of Greedy Wolf Blade just made up for Yi Chen's lack of weapons. The second is the Kung Fu Practice Accelerator card. The Hunyuan Book is the foundation of god-level skills. There is a very special place in practicing Hunyuan Bao Dian. As early as half a month ago, when Yi Chen first started practicing the Hunyuan Book, he gained 10,000 points of supernatural power index and the in-situ power of fire. However, in the subsequent practice, Hunyuan Book will no longer enhance Yi Chen's power index. Only if Yi Chen cultivates the Hunyuan Book to the second level will he gain 10,000 power index points and another in-situ power. For that matter, Yi Chen complained about the system more than once. Look at the Tian Yuan Ju practiced by Tian Xin. As long as Tian Xin keeps practicing, Tian Yuan Ju will continue to enhance Tian Xin's strength until Tian Xin reaches the upper limit of the skill. And what about Yi Chen? Unless Yi Chen is willing to give up practicing god-level skills. Otherwise, no matter how unhappy Yi Chen is, he can only practice the Hunyuan Book silently. And now, the emergence of the Kung Fu Practice Accelerator card made Yi Chen see a brand new path. Since the system can reward skill accelerator cards, then there must be other treasures in the system that will allow you to quickly complete the practice of Hunyuan Book. The last one is Hunyuan Creation Record. Just by looking at the introduction of Hunyuan Creation Record, you can tell that it is the god-level technique that the system calls it. Although the reward obtained this time is only the first volume of Hunyuan Creation Record. However, Yi Chen is still very happy. Pity, the current Yi Chen does not meet the conditions for practicing Hunyuan Creation Record. Otherwise, it would be impossible for Yi Chen to be so calm and start practicing long ago. Hey, in order to practice god-level skills as soon as possible, we can only work harder. System, use a skill training acceleration card. Quote. The next day, as the sky gradually gets brighter, Yi Chen finished his practice and went to the bathroom to wash up briefly. Afterwards, Yi Chen left his room and walked towards the kitchen. He has not forgotten that Tian Xin is a guest in his villa. It's not Yi Chen's style to leave guests hungry. However, what Yi Chen didn't expect was, before he even walked to the kitchen, he saw Tian Xin wearing an apron and already preparing a sumptuous breakfast. Teacher Yi, you're awake, come and have breakfast. See Yi Chen's figure. Tian Xin showed a soft smile on his face and greeted Yi Chen. In Tian Xin's heart, Yi Chen's kindness to him was too great. Because of Yi Chen, she knew the truth about Tian Hongguang's car accident. Because of Yi Chen, she successfully embarked on the path of cultivation. All of a sudden, Tian Xin had no idea how she was going to repay Yi Chen. Since he was staying at Yi Chen's house, he naturally couldn't let Yi Chen do such small things as making breakfast himself. Good. Hear Tian Xin's words. Yi Chen nodded and walked straight to the dining table without being polite. As soon as I sat down, Tian Xin handed a delicious sandwich to Yi Chen. Thank you, Teacher Tian. Taking the sandwich from Tian Xin's hand, Yi Chen smiled and thanked Tian Xin. Oops, Teacher Yi. Just call me Tian Xin. I will also call you by your name directly from now on, teacher. It seems too awkward. Looking at Yi Chen taking a bite of the sandwich, a blush appeared on Tian Xin's face and he suggested in a low voice. Finished. Tian Xin looked away, not daring to look at Yi Chen's reaction. Good. Bara High School. Wasteland. Why, I'm so exhausted. Rest for a bit. Wang Dedong sat on the ground and wiped away his sweat. After several days of hard work, most of the areas assigned to Wang Dedong by Yi Chen have been cleaned up. As long as Wang Dedong works hard, he should be able to complete the task today. Arrogant. Aren't you curious? Yesterday morning, the class teacher asked us to study by ourselves. The class teacher didn't come to supervise us in the afternoon. Tell me, what did the class teacher do? Arthur Wang walked to sit next to Wang Dedong and said with a smile. Although Arthur Wang has not been in contact with Yi Chen for too long. However, in the eyes of Arthur Wang, Yi Chen is a very responsible teacher. Otherwise, in Jin Baosen's situation, it would be impossible to regain the combat power index. Curious. Why are you curious? Class teacher, I think something happened temporarily. Hearing Wang Arthur's inquiry, Wang Dedong scratched his head and asked with some confusion. In Wang Dedong's opinion, there was nothing wrong with Yi Chen's situation yesterday. After all, unexpected things happen to everyone. Their class teacher, Yi Chen, had something to do and was delayed for a day, so what? English class yesterday morning. Teacher Tian Xin didn't come to class either. This morning, the class teacher and teacher Tian Xin came to school together. Ding Xiaoyu also came over and said calmly. In fact, Ding Xiaoyu's original thought was the same as Wang Dedong's, thinking that Yi Chen had something to do and was delayed for a day. However, when he came to school today, he happened to see Yi Chen and Tian Xin walking into the school talking and laughing. Therefore, I think of Wang Dedong's different feelings for Tian Xin. Only then did Ding Xiaoyu take the initiative to speak, thinking of reminding Wang Dedong. Xiaoyu, you mean, no way. Hearing Ding Xiaoyu's words, no matter how stupid Wang Dedong was, he still understood what Ding Xiaoyu meant. In an instant, Wang Dedong's face turned pale and he froze on the spot. In Wang Dedong's heart, Tian Xin is his Bai Yugong. Therefore, Wang Dedong simply couldn't accept that Tian Xin would fall in love with other people. Even if the person who falls in love with Tian Xin is the class teacher who has been approved by him. Narcissism. You have to learn to accept reality. The class teacher is indeed a very outstanding man. I wouldn't be surprised at all if teacher Tian Xin and the class teacher get together. Arthur Wang patted Wang Dedong's shoulder and spoke softly to comfort him. If Ding Xiaoyu hadn't said it, he wouldn't have known about it. However, Wang Arthur quickly accepted this situation. Although, as Wang Dedong's brother, Wang Arthur should support Wang Dedong. However, Arthur Wang knew very well that Wang Dedong had no advantage at all in front of Yi Chen. It's better to take advantage of this opportunity to let Wang Dedong recognize the reality as soon as possible and give up the unrealistic fantasies in his heart. Wang Dedong opened his mouth, wanting to retort. However, he thought about it for a long time, but he didn't know where to start. You three, is everything done? Is it because the tasks assigned by the teacher are too simple, so that you have time to gossip about the teacher? Sudden, Yi Chen's voice sounded in the ears of the three of them. In an instant, Wang Dedong, Wang Arthur, and Ding Xiaoyu turned their heads stiffly. I didn't know when Yi Chen appeared behind them, looking at them with a smile on his face. Class teacher, class teacher, class teacher. Quote. Others in the ultimate class also discovered Yi Chen's presence and started to say hello. Yi Chen nodded calmly and said nothing more. Then, Yi Chen turned his gaze to Ding Xiaoyu in front of him. Do not misunderstand. The reason why Yi Chen looks at Ding Xiaoyu is naturally not because of what Ding Xiaoyu said before. Yi Chen was just thinking that with Ding Xiaoyu's current situation, he should be able to get the reward soon. The reason is simple. Wang Dedong, Wang Arthur, and Ding Xiaoyu are all potential top power walkers. Come down in the next few days. The progress of the three of them is naturally the greatest. But, whether it's Wang Dedong or Wang Arthur, their original combat power index exceeded 9,000 points, but now they are stuck at the 10,000 point mark one after another. Before they break through the 10,000 point mark, it is impossible for Yi Chen to receive the reward. Only Ding Xiaoyu. Ding Xiaoyu's original extreme combat power index was 8,800 points. Come down in a few days. Ding Xiaoyu's combat power index has reached 9,600 points. As long as Ding Xiaoyu's combat power index can reach 9,800 points, then Yi Chen can get a top-level treasure box in the system. Have to say, because of the 3 super treasure boxes, Yi Chen has paid more and more attention to the rewards of the system. A top treasure chest, although not as good as a super treasure chest. However, the rewards in the top treasure chest should not be much different. However, Wang Dedong and the 3 of them didn't know what Yi Chen was thinking. In their eyes, they only saw Yi Chen staring at Ding Xiaoyu. Therefore, they naturally thought that Yi Chen was blaming Ding Xiaoyu. After all, it was Ding Xiaoyu who took the initiative to talk about the matter between Yi Chen and Tian Xin. Think of this. Ding Xiaoyu lowered his head silently. From Ding Xiaoyu's point of view, even if he was punished for this, he was not qualified to refute. Class teacher, this has nothing to do with Xiaoyu. If you want to blame Xiaoyu, I am willing to take the punishment for Xiaoyu. Wang Dedong was the first to speak and said to Yi Chen. He knows Ding Xiaoyu's character very well. If it weren't for himself, Ding Xiaoyu wouldn't be such a gossip. Class teacher, Xiaoyu just said it casually, don't take it to heart. Wang Arthur also spoke, hoping that Yi Chen wouldn't care about it. As Ding Xiaoyu's brother, of course he doesn't want to see Ding Xiaoyu punished. Hear what Wang Dedong and Wang Arthur said. Ding Xiaoyu raised his head suddenly, and just as he was about to say something, he was stopped by Yi Chen. I didn't mean to be angry. I was just thinking, you seem to care about me and teacher Tian Xin. Yi Chen smiled casually. He knew that his behavior of staring at Ding Xiaoyu caused Wang Dedong and the others to misunderstand. Therefore, in order to eliminate the misunderstanding, Yi Chen could only follow their topic. Class teacher, are you and teacher Tian Xin really in a relationship? Yi Chen was not angry when he heard that. Wang Dedong breathed a sigh of relief, and then asked with a serious head. If this matter is not clarified, then he might not be able to sleep tonight. Bara High School. Class teacher, are you and teacher Tian Xin really in a relationship? Wang Dedong's eyes were fixed on Yi Chen in front of him. He desperately wanted to know an answer, preferably a negative answer. The words just fell. Wang Arthur and Ding Xiaoyu both looked at Wang Dedong in shock. They really didn't expect that Wang Dedong would be so bold and ask Yi Chen directly. However, after a brief shock, they turned their attention to Yi Chen again. Apparently, both of them wanted to know this matter in their hearts. Hey, Yi Chen stretched out his hand and rubbed his eyebrows, with a helpless look on his face. Wang Dedong's voice is too loud. Therefore, Yi Chen could clearly feel that all the students in Class 1 were looking at him at the moment. Teacher Tian Xin, she's a perfect date, maybe even a life partner. However, for now, teacher Tian Xin and I are not together. After a while, Yi Chen spoke softly and said to the 3 people in front of him. This is the most authentic answer deep in Yi Chen's heart. In the process of getting along with Tian Xin always gave Yi Chen a gentle feeling. This kind of tenderness happens to be what impresses Yi Chen the most. The reason is simple. Yi Chen was an orphan before he traveled through time. What he longed for most was the warmth of home. Yi Chen can find this feeling in Tian Xin. The most important is, Yi Chen possesses the system and is destined to reach the pinnacle of the 12 spacetimes. This means that Yi Chen's future partner will definitely not be a muggle. And now Tian Xin has awakened the superpower in his body. With Tian Xin's talent, after receiving Yi Chen's teachings, she can also become a powerful psychic walker. Therefore, if Yi Chen were asked to choose his future partner, Tian Xin would definitely be the best candidate. Only, before the war between good and evil ends, Yi Chen doesn't put his ideas into action. Oh. Not together now, then you won't be able to tell for sure. Pass it on, the class teacher likes teacher Tian Xin. Quote. Yi Chen's voice just finished. Wang Dedong, Wang Arthur, and Ding Xiaoyu in front of him have not spoken yet. He had been paying attention to the other students here and immediately started making a fuss. In their hearts, although Yi Chen is their class teacher, he is also a powerful and mysterious existence. They were naturally very interested in hearing Yi Chen's gossip. Looking at the noisy crowd, Yi Chen shook his head, with a look of helplessness on his face. Before he even answered, he had already guessed the current situation. But Yi Chen just doesn't care. Have you had enough trouble? When you've had enough trouble, start doing things. If you can clean up this place today, then, starting from tomorrow, I will teach you some other methods. Quote. After a long while, when everyone gradually calmed down, Yi Chen waved his hand and said calmly, "This is not Yi Chen making things difficult for them. Because cleaning up this wasteland can increase the combat power index. Everyone in the ultimate team was not lazy when it came to clearing the wasteland. Therefore, there is not much left to clean up the wasteland that was once overgrown with weeds. As long as everyone present can work harder today, we can definitely clean it up." What, really? Class teacher, don't lie to me. Don't worry, class teacher, we will definitely be able to complete it. Quote. As Yi Chen's words fell, everyone present immediately became excited. Even Wang Arthur and Ding Xiaoyu's faces flashed with a look of excitement. Only Wang Dedong frowned and looked at Yi Chen with a hint of confusion. Regarding Wang Dedong's gaze, Yi Chen naturally felt it, but did not react. When everyone present started to get busy again, Yi Chen turned around and left. Looking at the back of Yi Chen leaving, Arthur Wang gently patted Wang Dedong's shoulder and walked towards the area he was responsible for. He didn't know if Wang Dedong understood. Yi Chen's evaluation of Tian Xin was mixed with unabashed favor. However, regardless of whether Wang Dedong understands it or not, it is impossible for Wang Arthur to take the initiative to expose this matter. For matters like feelings, Wang Dedong can only rely on himself, no one can help. Ding Xiaoyu on the side, like Arthur Wang, quickly returned to his area. The other side, Yi Chen, who left the wasteland, was preparing to return to the teacher's office. However, a figure that surprised Yi Chen stopped Yi Chen. "Teacher Yi, it's only been a few days since you joined the job. How's it going? Are you getting used to being in the ultimate class 1? Looking at Yi Chen in front of him, Qian Lai asked with a smile. The day Yi Chen appeared, Qian Lai discovered something. The future he predicted has undergone tremendous changes, which is mysterious and unpredictable. No matter how hard he tries, he can't see clearly the future of Jin Shikong. Therefore, Qian Lai has been secretly observing Yi Chen these days. The reason is simple. Yi Chen is the person who disrupts the trajectory of destiny. Qian Lai wanted to see a glimpse of the future from Yi Chen again. Pity. Qian Lai failed. Yi Chen's body is shrouded in a layer of fog. Even if Qian Lai tried his best, he couldn't break through the fog, and naturally he couldn't see Yi Chen's future. But Qian Lai was not completely without gains. During the period of observing Yi Chen, Qian Lai saw many strange methods of Yi Chen. First of all, the good stuff Yi Chen brought out. Energy suppression bracelet, healing bracelet, true spirit stone. Qian Lai asked himself, he has a deep understanding of the 12th time and space. However, Qian Lai had never seen these things that Yi Chen took out. Secondly, there is a small formation placed by Yi Chen on the wasteland over there. It is precisely because of that formation. It becomes so difficult for the students of the ultimate class to pull out the weeds. Finally, it is the technique practiced by Tian Xin. He couldn't see through Yi Chen, but he could easily see through Tian Xin. Therefore, he can clearly know how powerful Tian Xin's practice is. Once Tian Xin practices that skill to perfection, then Tian Xin's own power index will definitely exceed 100,000 points. Yi Chen taught Tian Xin such a powerful technique so easily. Yi Chen, what is his purpose? Bara High School. Thank you, Principal, for your concern. The students in the ultimate class 1 are actually quite cute. Being their class teacher is much easier than I thought. Quote. Look at Qian Lai, who is smiling. Yi Chen also showed a smile and answered softly. Only, Yi Chen's heart was not as calm as it seemed on the surface. He was constantly guessing, why did Qian Lai take the initiative to find him? Teacher Yi, your educational philosophy is very unique. I have run Bara High School for so many years, and this is the first time I have met a teacher like you. Under your guidance, I believe these students in the ultimate class will have a good future. The smile on Qian Lai's face remained unchanged and he praised Yi Chen. He didn't lie. Yi Chen is indeed the most special teacher he has ever seen. Before Yi Chen appeared, he never thought that there would be a teacher to teach students how to practice. After all, Bara High School is a school, not a place like a martial arts gym. And teaching students to practice and become stronger is not what a teacher should do. As a teacher, I will not predict the future of my students. I only know that students' future needs to be created by the students themselves. If we plan their future in advance, their lives will be meaningless. Principal, do you think what I said is right? Yi Chen shook his head and said calmly. He knew that Qian Lai was testing him. However, isn't Yi Chen testing Qian Lai? He has always been curious, what role does Qian Lai play in golden space-time? Is it simply predicting the future? Or is he controlling the future? If it's the former, Yi Chen won't care too much. Because things in the future cannot remain unchanged, there will always be some surprises. If it's the latter, then Qian Lai is too dangerous. After all, in order to ensure a correct future, Qian Lai would never let Yi Chen go. Create it yourself. I really didn't expect that Teacher Yi could see so thoroughly. Hear Yi Chen's words. Qian Lai gradually stopped smiling, and sighed sincerely. At first, after he gained the ability to predict the future, he never thought of making it public. However, in the future he predicted, all 12 time and space will encounter huge crises. That's why he transformed into a golden penman and drew, dragon with a golden pen, that could predict the future. His original purpose was to gradually gain the trust of the world, so as to remind the strong men of the 12 time and space. Did not expect. The golden pen touches the dragon, is not finished yet. Because of his ability to predict the future, the powerful men of golden time and space collectively issued a kill order. This makes Qian Lai very helpless. To know, the future is never static. His painting, Golden Pen Points to the Dragon, can at most serve as an early warning. Exactly. There are always people who regard, the golden pen touches the dragon, as the established future. They are afraid of the future in, the golden pen touches the dragon, and are unwilling to accept the future in, the golden pen touches the dragon. In this situation, Qian Lai could only give up the production of, the golden pen touches the dragon, and became the principal of Bala High School. Teacher Yi, this book is for you. I hope the future you create will be more beautiful than the world in the book. After a while, Qian Lai took out a comic book and handed it to Yi Chen's hand. Look at the 4 big characters, Golden Pen Points to the Dragon, on the cover. Yi Chen's pupils shrank slightly. Prophecy. Qian Lai, why would you give it to yourself? With himself as a time traveler, what changes will occur in the future predicted by, the Golden Pen Points to the Dragon? Teacher Yi, the moment you show up, the future has become blurry. As you say now, the future is up to you to create. Just when Yi Chen was thinking, Qian Lai's voice sounded in Yi Chen's ears again. Yi Chen came back to his senses and looked up at Qian Lai's position. However, Qian Lai's figure has long since disappeared. System, can I watch, The Legend of the Dragon? Yi Chen was silent for a moment, and then asked the system. He knew very well that the future had definitely changed. At least, under his guidance, Wang Dedong, Wang Arthur and others have become much stronger. The butterfly's wings are already flapping, how can there be no difference in the future? However, Yi Chen still wants to watch, The Golden Pen Touches the Dragon. He wants to know whether the future in, Golden Pen Points to the Dragon, has changed. However, thinking of the special nature of, Golden Pen Points to the Dragon, Yi Chen did not dare to open it directly. After all, only people with great kindness and great evil will not be affected by, The Golden Pen Touches the Dragon. Great kindness, Yi Chen asked himself not to be a great kindness person. As a big evil, Yi Chen also doesn't think that he will be a bad person. He is just an ordinary person who wants to control his destiny. Host, this system has not detected any abnormalities. The sound of the system soon appeared in Yi Chen's mind. Hear the system's answer. Yi Chen no longer hesitated and directly opened the book, Golden Pen Points to the Dragon, in his hand. Next moment, Yi Chen was dumbfounded. I saw that the content of, Golden Pen Points to the Dragon, was dissipating bit by bit at a speed visible to the naked eye. Just a few breaths. The, Golden Pen Points to the Dragon, in Yi Chen's hand has become a blank book. Only the 4 characters, dragon, in gold pen on the cover prove its former identity. Interesting. So this is since you have to create the future yourself, prophecy has no meaning. Therefore, the comics in golden pen points to the dragon can naturally not continue to exist. Look at the white paper in your hand. The corners of Yi Chen's mouth raised slightly, revealing a faint smile. Although, he still doesn't know the details of Qian Lai. However, Qian Lai's actions today have proven that he has no ill intentions towards Yi Chen. This made the pressure in Yi Chen's heart suddenly lighten a lot. No way, Qian Lai is so mysterious, and his strength is even more terrifying. If he wanted to take action against Yi Chen, with Yi Chen's current situation, he wouldn't even be able to resist. And now, there is no longer the threat of Qian Lai. Yi Chen can completely let go and create his own future. Class A. The next day, as the class bell rang. As soon as Tian Xin walked into the ultimate class 1, she saw all the students sleeping on their desks. Yo, what's going on here? Didn't you all sleep last night? After placing the teaching materials on the podium, Tian Xin smiled and started teasing all the students. Since starting to practice, Tian Xin also knows that all the students in the class are not ordinary people. Compared with ordinary people, these students have stronger strength and more energy. Therefore, of course Tian Xin was a little curious, why were they so lethargic today? Teacher, I'm almost exhausted. Teacher Tian, let us sleep in this class. Teacher Tian, I can hardly open my eyes. I'm so sleepy. Quote. Hear Tian Xin's inquiry. Several students in the front row immediately started making suggestions. The other students also had looks of approval on their faces. Even Wang Dedong, who defended Tian Xin the most, rarely refuted. No way, because of Yi Chen's words. All the students in the ultimate class worked hard to clean up the wasteland. But there is a formation left by Yi Chen on the wasteland, how can it be so easy to clean up? So, when they cleared the wasteland, the sky was already gloomy. Some weak students even completed their tasks completely after dark for a long time. In addition, they were all looking forward to last night, what would Yi Chen teach them? They were in a state of excitement, so naturally they didn't get a good rest yesterday. If it weren't for Yi Chen's teachings, they might not come to school. That's not okay. Teacher Yi has already told me. This afternoon, he will teach you some special skills. If you don't study hard now, I will leave you in the classroom. I heard several students' proposals. Tian Xin waved his hand and refused without hesitation. Ever since he started practicing, Tian Xin has discovered the door to a new world. Things that originally made her feel tired became easier in an instant. And all the students in the ultimate class are not ordinary people. Therefore, Tian Xin knew very well that they were not as tired as they looked. The reason why they make such expressions is just to avoid studying in this way. No, teacher, you are too cruel. No, let's just go to class. The relationship between teacher Tian and the class teacher is not simple, they even know this. Quote. Really, as Tian Xin's words fell, the students who originally looked tired immediately became energetic. Tian Xin guessed well, although they didn't have a good rest last night, it didn't affect their condition today. And the reason why they did this was because they were thinking about practicing in the afternoon and had no intention of studying. This was something they had already discussed before Tian Xin walked into the classroom. In their opinion, with Tian Xin's understanding, he would definitely agree. Did not expect. Tian Xin, who had already started practicing, could see through their little thoughts at a glance. Teacher, you have such a good relationship with your class teacher. Do you already know what the class teacher is going to teach us this afternoon? Jin Baosin spoke in a cowardly manner and asked Tian Xin. A few days have passed. Today, Jin Baosin's combat power index has returned to around 900 points. This made Jin Baosin very grateful to Yi Chen and at the same time even more eager for powerful power. Therefore, Jin Baosin was naturally extremely curious about the methods Yi Chen planned to teach them. As Jin Baosin spoke, the originally noisy crowd suddenly became quiet. Everyone's eyes were directed towards Tian Xin on the podium. Apparently, they all have this kind of curiosity in their hearts. This, Teacher Yi told me, in the afternoon, he should teach you some elemental powers. Tianxin was silent for a moment, then answered softly. This is what she heard Yi Chen say in person in the office. Moreover, Yi Chen also asked her to take a look and learn this fighting method. Elemental powers, what it is it some kind of fire-breathing method? Hear Tianxin's answer. Wang Arthur, who was sitting at the back, asked with some confusion. He was trained by his father since he was a child and knows many ways to fight. But he had never heard of the elemental powers Tianxin mentioned. It's not just Arthur Wang. The same goes for everyone in the ultimate class. No matter how they think about it, they can't figure out what the elemental power is. Elemental powers. It's a fighting method that can only be used by supernatural warriors. The higher the power index, the stronger the elemental power used. As to what exactly, Teacher Yi will tell you during class in the afternoon. Now, take out your English textbooks, it's time for us to start class. Quote. Tianxin is not very clear about elemental powers. Therefore, she could only follow her own understanding, briefly explain it to everyone, and then start to divert everyone's attention. Hey, class is here, why does time go by so slowly? Quote. Seeing Tianxin's unwillingness to say more, everyone sighed and took out their textbooks. At such a critical time, they were unwilling to offend Tianxin. After all, if Tianxin is really left in the classroom, he cannot accept Yi Chen's teachings. Then they will suffer a big loss. As for ignoring Tianxin and going directly to the wasteland to practice in the afternoon. Stop it. The relationship between Tianxin and Yi Chen is unclear. Who knows if he will be remembered by Yi Chen after offending Tianxin. Not to mention, even if Yi Chen doesn't care, Wang Dedong, Tianxin's loyal supporter, will also deal with them well. In order not to be beaten, in order to be able to practice. They can only attend class honestly. Superpower Walker. Power Index. What does it mean? Ding Xiaoyu's eyes flashed with light, and he thought silently in his heart. He keenly captured these two key words from Tianxin's words. He had a premonition. The afternoon course will definitely be very different. Bara High School. Wasteland. Yi Chen stood there casually, looking at the burning flame in his hand. In the teaching plan customized by the system for students, Yi Chen needs to teach them elemental powers. Certainly, elemental abilities are provided by the system. As a teacher, Yi Chen can naturally learn from it. System. Can people from golden spacetime really learn superpowers? Yi Chen dispersed the flame in his hand and asked the system in his heart. Superpowers are very common in iron spacetime. Elemental powers are not so rare. For example, Natsumi's thunder and lightning technique, Huyanju Luoshu's divine wind slash, Ghost Dragon's flame. But this is golden time and space. In golden time and space, the most mainstream fighting method is martial arts. As for superpowers, Yi Chen has traveled to the present and has never seen anyone from the golden spacetime use it. Host, there's something wrong with your thinking. No matter which time and space they are in, the essence of the supernatural walker is the same. People from iron time and space can use supernatural powers, so naturally people from gold time and space can too. Not to mention, the elemental powers produced by this system are much stronger than iron spacetime. So, host, feel free to teach me boldly. The system's voice soon sounded in Yi Chen's mind. Stronger than iron spacetime. If it is a complete elemental power, I will naturally not refute it. But you gave me some basic elemental powers, and how dare you be so arrogant? Hear the system's answer. Yi Chen rolled his eyes and complained helplessly. The elemental abilities the system gave Yi Chen are all basic things. Although, just these basic abilities made Yi Chen feel its power. However, with these basic abilities, there is still no way to compare with iron spacetime. Host, in the judgment of the system, students in the ultimate class only need to learn basic elemental powers. Basic elemental powers can improve these students' ability to control powers and enhance their combat effectiveness. As for the powerful elemental abilities, please host, please work hard to teach students and get them from the treasure chest rewarded by the system. Faced with Yi Chen's complaints, the system couldn't help but jumped out and retorted to Yi Chen. I knew that was the case. Yi Chen curled his lips and said nothing more. In fact, Even these basic elemental powers have brought great benefits to Yi Chen. After all, the elemental abilities provided by the system are more comprehensive than those of iron spacetime. The elemental powers of iron spacetime are created based on 5 in situ powers: wind, fire, thunder, lightning and rain. But what the system gives is different. The elemental abilities provided by the system include 7 attributes: earth, wind, water, fire, thunder and lightning, light, and darkness. Even if they are all basic things, when they complement each other, they can still explode with powerful power. Class teacher, class teacher, class teacher. Quote. Sudden, the voices of Wang Dedong and others reached Yi Chen's ears from not far away. Yi Chen slowly turned around and looked at the many students running towards him. Behind them, Tian Xin came together. When Tian Xin saw Yi Chen, he didn't speak, but smiled and waved. Although this is her first time here in the wasteland. However, she also knew that the wasteland in front of her was the exclusive activity venue for the ultimate class. At the same time, this is also the place where students from the ultimate class 1 practice. Class teacher, what are elemental powers? Is it true that, as King Arthur said, the class teacher wants to teach us to breathe fire? Quote. At this time, the student walking at the front had already arrived in front of Yi Chen and couldn't wait to ask. From Tian Xin's words, they had been itching to know that Yi Chen was going to teach elemental powers. Now, after meeting Yi Chen, this curiosity has reached its peak. Class teacher, what is a psychic? Is the superpower index what we call the combat power index? Just when Yi Chen was about to speak, Ding Xiaoyu's voice rang in everyone's ears. Everyone present was stunned and looked at Ding Xiaoyu in disbelief. No way, Ding Xiaoyu is really too aloof. They really didn't expect that Ding Xiaoyu would take the initiative to ask about things. Even Wang Dedong and Wang Arthur looked at Ding Xiaoyu in surprise. But after a brief moment of surprise, they began to recall Ding Xiaoyu's words. So familiar, correct, isn't this what Tian Xin said in class? At that time, they were immersed in the elemental powers and ignored this matter. Alright, let's start class directly. I will answer your questions bit by bit. Looking at Ding Xiaoyu, who said something shocking. A look of appreciation flashed across Yi Chen's eyes. What Tian Xin said in the class was actually done intentionally by Yi Chen. Yi Chen knew very well that the students in the ultimate class would definitely ask Tian Xin about his plans. But Yi Chen still informed Yu Tianxin of his thoughts in advance. Why? Because Yi Chen is going to tell these students about the power walkers. That's why he used Tian Xin's words to let these students prepare in advance. Therefore, even if Ding Xiaoyu didn't ask, Yi Chen would still tell these things. He doesn't want the students he teaches not to know even this basic information. Good, class teacher, let's start. Quote. Hear Yi Chen's words. Everyone's faces showed a look of anticipation. Let's talk about the power walkers first. The so-called psychics are actually people with supernatural powers. The special ability index is what you call the combat power index, it's just called by a different name. In other words, you are actually all power walkers. A supernatural practitioner can continue to practice and become stronger the moment he awakens. When the power index reaches a certain level, the lifespan of the power walker will also be extended. Besides, superpower practitioners can also possess many magical methods. And what about ordinary people? Even if they obtain the cultivation techniques, they will not be able to awaken their powers, let alone practice to become stronger. So, there are even some psychics who call ordinary people muggles. Quote. Bara High School, Wasteland. No wonder. I have been able to practice martial arts since I was a child. But my dad can never do it. It turns out that it's because dad is not a psychic. Wang Arthur's face showed a look that was like this. After he had the combat power index, he got the training method from his father. Later, out of curiosity, Wang Arthur couldn't help asking about Lao Tulong's combat power index. But the old Tulong said that he had no combat power index at all. At that time, King Arthur only thought that the old man was too lazy and did not practice seriously. Did not expect. It's not that Lao Tulong doesn't practice, it's that he can't practice at all. So this is sure enough, I am the chosen one. Superpower Walker, this is a pretty cool title. From today on, please call me Lord Power Walker. Quote. The rest of the people present also started talking. It was the first time they heard the name, Superpower Walker, and naturally they felt very strange. Now that it's all said and done, then let me tell you a few more words. Before awakening, a supernatural practitioner is no different from an ordinary person. This kind of supernatural practitioner who has a supernatural physique but has not awakened is called a hidden psychic practitioner. The supernatural physique of a psychic can be passed on to future generations. As long as one of the parents is a psychic, the offspring may have supernatural powers. If both parents are psychic walkers, their offspring will definitely be psychic walkers. What if both parents are not psychics? Under normal circumstances, it is impossible for their descendants to become power walkers. But there are no absolutes in this world. There are some special methods that can turn ordinary people into superpowers. However, these special methods are often very cruel and even have huge hidden dangers. Quote. Yi Chen looked at Wang Dedong for a while and continued to speak. There is something he has never been able to figure out. Wang Dedong, does he never use his brain? Whether it is the techniques he cultivates or his protective weapon dragon pattern, they are extremely precious existences. Wang Dedong doesn't think that he got these things because of his good luck, right? These things were all prepared for him by the crazy sword ghost. As long as Wang Dedong uses his brain a little, he should be able to find something wrong. But Wang Dedong has never delved into these matters. That's why Yi Chen deliberately looked at Wang Dedong, hoping that Wang Dedong would doubt the identity of his parents. However, feel Yi Chen's gaze. Wang Dedong was completely confused and didn't know what was going on. In Wang Dedong's heart, his parents are just two ordinary people. Even if he heard Yi Chen talk about the power walkers, he would just regard his parents as unawakened hidden power walkers. Hey, looking at Wang Dedong's clear and stupid eyes, Yi Chen sighed silently in his heart, but didn't say much. Let Wang Dedong discover the identity of the crazy sword ghost by himself. Alright, finish talking about the power walker. Next, let's talk about elemental powers. There are a few things that are crucial to a supernatural traveler. Kung Fu, combat skills, weapons, superpowers. First, the exercises. Practice a powerful technique that can quickly increase the supernatural power index of a psychic. A powerful power index is the foundation of a power walker. The second is combat skills. Combat skills can also be called martial arts, fighting skills, etc. Practicing combat skills can also improve the supernatural power index of a psychic. Some powerful combat skills can even temporarily increase the supernatural power index of the supernatural walker during the battle. Quote. Speaking of which, Yi Chen glanced at Wang Dedong again. Of all the students in the ultimate class, Arthur Wang has the best fighting skills. After all, it was carefully cultivated by the old Tulong, so it naturally has some merits. However, in Yi Chen's eyes, Arthur Wang also has many shortcomings. Even the best King Arthur is like this, and of course the others are even worse. For example, Wang Dedong. Yi Chen also couldn't understand why Crazy Dao Gui and his wife had prepared some training techniques for Wang Dedong. So, why didn't they prepare some combat skills for Wang Dedong? Or, you can just change your identity and secretly guide your son. As a result, Wang Dedong now has a good combat power index. However, Wang Dedong's fighting style is very disorganized, no different from gangster fighting. Think about GUG 10 years from now. GUG, under normal conditions, the combat power index is not bad. However, only when he uses Shu Biao can his combat power index soar to around 15,000 points. And doesn't the crazy sword ghost have powerful combat skills? There must be some, but for some unknown reason, they didn't hand it over to Wang Dedong. It's not just the crazy knife ghost. Old Earth Dragon, the same is true. As one of the adjudicators of the Force Judgment Office. Although Lao Tulong is just a literary judge, he is not a simple character. However, he did not let his son Wang Arthur master a powerful combat skill. This made Yi Chen very confused. He didn't know what was going on. Then there are weapons. Powerful weapons can also enhance the strength of psychic walkers. There shouldn't be any need for the teacher to say more about this, you guys know it yourself. The last thing is supernatural power. Superpower is a kind of power similar to magic. The stronger the superpower index, the stronger the superpower you use. Psychic spells are all kinds of weird and have many different abilities. Today, what the teacher wants to teach you is the elemental power in the power art. Quote. After Yi Chen finished speaking, under the gaze of everyone, he slowly stretched out his palm. Next moment, with a red light flashing, a ball of hot flame appeared out of thin air in Yi Chen's palm. This is the elemental fire control technique. Compared with ordinary flames, the temperature of supernatural flames is higher. And, as the superpower index continues to increase, the superpower flames can become even more terrifying. Quote. Bara High School. Wasteland. What a high temperature. This is real fire. Elemental powers are actually related to elements. Teacher, I like thunder and lightning. Do you have any elemental powers in thunder and lightning? Quote. Look at the flames in Yi Chen's palm. After a brief silence, the people in the ultimate class immediately started to make a fuss. Although, they have already had some guesses about the elemental powers. However, I saw Yi Chen create fire out of thin air with my own eyes, and even control the flame at will. They couldn't help but get excited. After all, this is the first time they have encountered such a thing. Especially when they think about it, they can learn this magical method right away. Everyone present had a look of excitement on their faces. Except for fire control, the teacher will also teach you the other 6 attributes of supernatural powers. They are water control, wind control, earth control, lightning control, small light and small darkness. Certainly, I'm not asking you to learn all 7 kinds of superpowers. Whether you can successfully practice superpower skills has something to do with your own superpower physique. The teacher's request for you is very simple. You only need to successfully practice one kind of supernatural power, and you will be considered to have met the requirements. It would be better if you could master several superpowers at the same time. Quote. He looked at everyone present. Yi Chen dispersed the flame in his hand and spoke calmly. Superpower skills are indeed not that easy to practice. Don't look at Yi Chen mastering these 7 superpowers easily. That's because of the system. If Yi Chen were allowed to practice by himself, it would not be so simple. As for the students in the ultimate class, there is no systematic help. If the superpower they practice conflicts with their superpower physique, then, no matter how good their talents are, they still cannot succeed in cultivation. Very good. There really are powers of thunder and lightning. Fire control is cooler, this is fire. Quote. As Yi Chen's words fell, everyone present immediately burst into cheers. In their hearts, they all have their favorite elements. Some students even started arguing over which element was better. Elemental powers. It does look good. That's the name, it's too rustic. Arthur Wong touched his chin and murmured in a low voice. His voice was small. However, with Yi Chen's strength, he still heard what he said. Yi Chen's mouth twitched slightly. Yi Chen was also very helpless about the names of these 7 supernatural powers. He also complained to the system that the name given by the system was too ugly. However, the system said that these 7 kinds of superpowers are just the most basic elemental superpowers. The most basic elemental power is not worthy of a domineering name. Under such circumstances, Yi Chen couldn't say anything more. It sounds as bad as it sounds, as long as it works. Therefore, Yi Chen could only pretend that he did not hear Wang Arthur's words and try to calm himself down. Next, I will explain these 7 kinds of superpowers to you one by one. The first is fire control. The first step in practicing fire control is to control the superpowers in your body and follow a fixed trajectory. Quote. Yi Chen talks eloquently. It took more than half an hour. Yi Chen just finished explaining all the 7 kinds of superpowers. Later, after answering some doubts again, Yi Chen asked everyone to start practicing. 264.697, 0.1156, 0.2688, 0.4697, 0.6866. For a while, the students in the final class are all activating their combat power index. As the combat power index appeared, bursts of light lit up on the wasteland. Yi Chen also took advantage of this moment to start observing. Because of the energy-suppressing bracelet, even the strongest Wang Dedong only raised his power index to about 7,000 points. The weak axe, shark and others only have more than 100 points. But even so, there was still a look of satisfaction flashing in Yi Chen's eyes. To know, when Wang Dedong first put on the energy-suppressing bracelet, he could only get more than 3,000 points. Axe, shark and others were even worse. When they first put on the energy-suppressing bracelet, their power index did not exceed 10. In just a few days, they have made such great progress. What else can Yi Chen be dissatisfied with? Wow! Sudden, a dazzling white light flashed. Yi Chen was caught off guard and couldn't help but squint his eyes. Ah, I succeeded. I learned the little light technique. Quote. Next moment, Tian Xin's voice of surprise sounded in everyone's ears. In an instant, everyone present looked over one after another. No, it can't be right. Teacher Tian Xin, also has a combat power index. What is going on? How can Teacher Tian Xin be so strong? Is it my imagination? Teacher Tian Xin's combat power index is actually as high as 6,800 points. Quote. Except Yi Chen, all the students in the Ultimate Class 1 were stunned on the spot. In their impression, Tian Xin has always been an ordinary person and has no superpower index. After Tian Xin started practicing, he never told them about this. Therefore, they had no idea that Tian Xin had become a power walker. When Yi Chen was talking about the 7 kinds of superpowers, Tian Xin never said a word. Previously, because of the attraction of superpowers, the students in the Ultimate Class 1 have long forgotten that Tian Xin is here. Therefore, feeling Tian Xin's combat power index at this moment, they were naturally a little hard to accept. Teacher, what exactly is going on? Wang Dedong came back to his senses and asked in disbelief. He has known Tian Xin for the longest time. If Tian Xin had a combat power index, he should have discovered it long ago. So, what's going on now? Tian Xin not only has a combat power index, it is also as high as 6,800 points. With such a combat power index, even if he is placed in the ultimate class, he can be regarded as a master. Hear Wang Dedong's inquiry. Just as Tian Xin was about to answer, Yi Chen came to Tian Xin's side. Congratulations. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.